a match tonight. The match that we are casting here tonight is going to be RJF versus Smoke Adders. So once again, this is the 228th hosted Summer Grand Prix event taking place over the course of the weekend. You can see the round 1 and 2 stages on your screen right now. Stream is on a 5-minute delay. We've got Smoke Adders in the lobby currently, and we are currently waiting on RJF to enter the lobby. So for now, we will give you the round matchups. That's what the round matchups look like right now. So MWO Leagues 1 is currently casting Smoke Adders versus RJF. MWO Leagues 2 is casting 228 DFA versus 228 Snackwatch. So if you want to take a look at that, you can. So once again, my name is Nita Pickle, and I am joined with Oblivion Shadow Knight, and we're just waiting on RJF to show up. After that, we should be good to go. So what are you feeling, how are you feeling about tonight here, Oblivion?
I'm looking forward to see the matches get underway, Pickle.
I am as well. So once again, we are just waiting on RJF to enter into the lobby. So real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the rules here. The 228 Summer Grand Prix, hosted of course by the 228th IBR. This is a best of 3 6v6 tournament taking place over the course of today and tomorrow, and will be casted on MW Leagues 1 and 2. The first 2 drops of a match will be placed with the Domination game mode, and drop 3 will be Conquest. In the lobby settings, we've got a time of 15 minutes, server North American, time of day. First person view and third person view are both allowed. Each drop will be 6v6, and a full team of 6 must be fielded in each drop. Teams must type ready into the lobby chat to officially designate that they are ready for map selection. For drop 1, maps are randomly generated out of a pool of 3 maps. So once both teams signify that they are ready to go, we initiate a random number generator between 1 and 3 and pick a map and hit the launch button. Drop 1, we've got a pool of Canyon Network, Mining Collective, and Viridian Bog. Drop 2 is a pool of Rubilate Oasis, Tourmaline Desert, I'm used to saying desert, and Grimplexus. Drop 3 is Forest Colony Snow, Hibernal Rift, and Frozen City Night. I should also mention that the Forest Colony Snow is the classic Forest Colony Snow. If drop 3 ends in a tie, there will be a drop 4, and that drop 4's map pool is Canyon Network, Mining Collective, and Viridian Bog. Apologies on the short delay here, give me just a minute. So once again, this specific channel is Smoke Adders versus RJF. MW Leagues 2 is running Snackwatch versus DFA. And once again, we are currently waiting on RJF to show up. So, back to the rules. Each team may consist of up to 10 players. No roster changes may be made after the start of the tournament. No players from a team listed in Section 2A may register for a team, that being Blackwatch, EMP, JGX, Eon. The top tier teams in this tournament have been disallowed from joining. The objective of this tournament is to make lesser experienced teams have a chance at winning a tournament. No alt accounts or Smurf accounts are allowed. Any players or accounts suspected of involvement in such a thing will be ejected at a judge's discretion. Players may only register to one team at a time, and team and player names must be publicly acceptable as per PGI's rules and regulations. Players whose primary account is permanently or temporarily banned by the start of the tournament are not eligible to participate. So there are a few specific drop related rules. Each team must field 6 mechs for each drop of each series. Each team is limited to a maximum of 360 tons for each drop of each series. There is no minimum tonnage. So each team can bring, 6 locusts if they really want. But they may not go over 360 tons. Duplicate chassis may be fielded at a reduction of 10 tons per duplicate chassis. So that means you may be able to run 2 locusts, for example, but any more than 2 locusts will require a 10-ton penalty. Yeah, so 2 of the same mech / 1 duplicate means your mech's tonnage drops to 350. Duplicates are counted according to chassis. Variant does not matter. You may not bring more than 2 of a chassis under any circumstances. Doing so will forfeit the drop. Only mechs that may be acquired for MCC bills or through a free in-game event, aka gift / events, Warhammer 2C Hero, Corsair Hero from the December 2017 event, are eligible to play. Only mechs legal under these rules prior to the start of the event will be eligible. No further mechs will be allowed. And a team must have 6 members present to be counted in attendance. As such, we currently have SA here. Still have yet to hear from RJF. Oblivion being the head judge, I believe he has called a yellow card on RJF currently.
No, we have not.
We have not? Okay. I just see some question marks going on in the chat. So once again, welcome in everybody. We're still waiting on RJF to show up here. RJF Russian Jade Falcon versus SA Smoke Adders. Caroline says, dessert, where's my ice cream? Also, Gitka, you can stop that right now. I see that in chat. I hope everybody's ready for some awesome and exciting mech on mech action. With pickles, yes. With pickles. Stream is on a 5-minute delay, but I do have chat up here so I can keep an eye on chat. And we did actually have an exhibition match take place last night between Blackwatch and EMP. Once again, at this time, I'd like to thank both Blackwatch and EMP for taking the time out of their busy evening schedule to help us kind of get a nice solid practice in. There was definitely a few things that we needed to iron out. Such things have been ironed out since last night. So okay, so I'm getting word that there will be a small delay for this particular match. There was a bit of a scheduling mix-up between the two teams, but the teams will be here. SA is currently here. RJF will be here, is what I'm being told. So, but they won't be here for another 20 minutes. So, Oblivion, guess what you and I get to do for 20 minutes?
And what would that be?
We get to sit here and we get to talk about what we think this match is gonna be.
Yeah. All right.
How does that make you feel? Does that make you happy?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so the match will take place tonight between RJF and Smoke Adders. It's just going to be delayed by about 20 minutes as of me saying those words right now. So I guess what I'll do is I'll continue to talk about some of the things we learned last night. We did, as I said, have a cast between Blackwatch and EMP last night, and there were definitely, as I said, a few things to iron out. Luckily, Oblivion and I, we sat down earlier today, we got everything straightened out, so everything is good to go for today. So I am promising you guys and gals out there a quality broadcast today, and I'm happy to say those words. I love casting stuff, it's fun. A few more things I want to say. Thank you to all the teams that signed up. Hope you guys are going to enjoy the matches, and thank you all, guys and gals in chat, for watching the tournament. And Oblivion, thank you for taking all this time to organize everything. You've been very hard at work. Even right now, he's hard at work, sending messages to people, making sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. Again, MWO Leagues 1 and 2 are currently live right now. Let's see if we can get... MWO Leagues 2 is currently having a match running. Let's see. Let's get that. See if I can get that on stream here for you guys.
Looks like
So MWO Leagues 2 is running
we have two Vulcans,
DFA versus Snackwatch because
Black Triple Raptors spotted two of them out.
Because our match is going to be delayed, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put the Snackwatch versus DFA match up on screen. Once again, the match is on a 5-minute delay. So if you're watching it on MWO Leagues 1, it's actually going to be on a 10-minute delay. And it's in the middle of match 1, I believe it is. And I'm going to get it up here on stream for you guys and gals, so keep you guys entertained.
Well, the Viper goes a little too far back, I feel, for his ATMs. And Invictus is just by himself. He's trying to trade against. He's trying to trade against one Mac Cat B, two Mac Cat Bs. If he stays up there and tries to trade, it's gonna be bad news for him.
It could be, but it is a summoner. This way, if he's good with his pop throws, he could get away with it, even against his two Macs, because they are the okay.
Seneschal standing in the strike. He's actually getting wrecked right now. Oof.
89% for him. Yeah, he needs to be more careful. He's dropping off. Yeah.
And Invictus is down to 89% as well. Nothing.
So you hosted them,
Crazy's
the
happening.
other cast?
I think at this point the biggest thing is that Snackwatch needs to realize that they're duplicates.
Sorry,
The
misheard
fact
you.
that they only
Been
have
doing
one
judgy
pair of
things.
duplicates means that they have way more tonnage and more DPS
No
because they
problem.
have those 2 Daka Mat Cats.
And
So they
they're
could very feasibly
Okay.
just push up on them.
and they're very split.
See how the match is
Morticia
going.
just got destroyed by an airstrike.
On our strike. Yeah, they need to be mindful of those. It seems like the opposite is actually happening. It's actually DFA that's moving up on them,
They're
trying to take the top.
yeah, they're nice and they're together and they're peeking against. They're like there's several like summoners peeking against like one mech at a time and it's paying off for them.
Yeah, right now Morticia's the only one who's got lines on the enemy team and has been paying dearly for it, 69% of that mech. Whereas the rest of Snackwatch is trying to move up on the side now. They're right below DFA.
Oh, looks like Snackwatch might make a push here. They're about to.
Yep.
Turtles is leading the charge. Ooh, he takes a big hit.
92%.
They gotta go now. They're standing in a strike.
Yeah, they're standing a strike and they're kind of being left out to dry, these 2 Mad
Yep,
Cats.
and they're being blocked.
It's only Seneschal exposing.
Seneschal's down 50%. He's going down quick. Ooh.
Oof. Yeah, that was a quick pick for red team here. Not much I could do. Like Psyche just kind of left Seneschal out to dry.
They got stuck upon each other and he started esking and
And they had that strike on them too. That. And keep in mind, blue team still has that hunchback in the back. Not much there.
she's wow. She is still back there.
Nothing you can do there.
She needs to go. She needs to hurry up and support her team ASAP.
So
They have
Oblivion, real
Sherrills pinned
quick.
down.
Caroline in the
Can't do
chat
much.
says you and I should 1v1 until
Can't
RJF is ready
engage the
on
50%.
stream.
Yeah? Okay, fine.
Looks like
I think he's joking, and I
Yeah, he's
haven't
right
I
leg
haven't
is
played
left-
yet
sorry, left
today,
leg is
so
one shot
I don't
away.
want to show
Oh,
everybody
and I
how
have
bad
one?
I am.
Snackwatch?
Yes, and
Okay.
you have. No, I'm
I think
kidding.
they're gonna try to go to the right side.
It's okay. I'd kick your ass
Took a
anyway.
nasty hit there. Something's gonna hurting.
Yeah, so once again, guys and gals, if you are tuning in to MWO Leagues 1, you are currently actually watching a 10-minute delay of MWO Leagues 2. There was a small mix-up in terms of scheduling for the Smoke Adders versus RJF match, which is being casted on this channel. We are just waiting on RJF to actually show up. There was a small mix-up in terms of scheduling. So currently we are taking a look at Defunct and Chrisman. They are in the middle of casting Snackwatch versus DFA.
Access to taking trace against Morticia here. Roughly same percentages, but Morticia is halved already. And Over and the Psyche are gonna go down here really fast.
Victus takes down Psyche. He's probably take down Over with the help of Seep. This gonna giggity do.
There you go.
And the last
This be a
bastion.
6-0 sweep. Clean sweep.
Most likely. The ATM's raining in. PPC's raining in. ATMs.
There
Jesus. There we go.
That did it. It was all in all, other than the pick of the Mad Cat, I think it was pretty close up until that point. The percentages sort of look, if I feel like if they had a little bit more focus fire on Snackwatch, they might have been able to like even out the odds.
Well,
But they lost a lot of tonnage on that Mad Cat be just disappearing off the field.
the damages for DFA is actually fairly even. We got Giggity Goo carrying with the ATMs. Invictus surprisingly carrying with this Pop-Tart Summoner. Fox with the 2 kills with a low damage number. That's ATMs for you though. And if we take a look at Snackwatch, I'm actually surprised Morticia actually did 200 damage. I thought she was going to be on the lower end of the thing, of the damage spectrum, but the Vulcan was actually... The Vulcan of Black Templars Raptors was the lowest. Very interesting. Yeah, that's about as much as I thought the match was going to go.
Oh, there we go. Discord disconnected on me, but alright, let's go. Got the match ID for this. Good with his pop.
Map strat up. We have the map strat up.
If you can do like a rough rundown of the match real quick for the map strat, I'll go upload all this stuff.
Okay. Boom, boom. Alright, so What we saw here, guys, was Snackwatch moved up over here. They just went like this. They hung around here for a little bit. Wow, no, I have the colors backwards, but that's alright. And basically, DFA, they hung around here. It's a very commanding spot on this map, especially for domination. It gives Team One side less options to be able to trade because there's not a lot of room to really trade up here. So they have to be very creative on how they do this. But what DFA tried to attempt to do was cut across here through this choke point. Now this is a very interesting choke point. You have to push through. You have to have mechs be able to jump up here and make this like push worth it. And all DFA had to do was they just pulled back a little bit, struck over here, and then left Snackwatch. No options really but to back off.
Yeah, and at that point they had lost that mech, and it was basically over. That also happens to be Seneschal, who was their in-game leader. So that definitely takes a toll on their team.
Yeah.
To lose your leader that fast.
And it's hard for him to call movements and.
Yeah, it's interesting that the.
So once again, guys and gals, watching the MWO Leagues 1 channel, we are currently on a small delay. There was a small scheduling mix-up between RJF, so we are waiting on RJF to get here. We are currently actually watching MWO Leagues 2. They are currently casting Snackwatch versus DFA.
So it looks like what happened was a typo in the rules document. While the challenge had the correct time, the change in time when we posted the challenge was not then reflected back onto the rules document. They had collected the start time from the rules document already and didn't see the challenge time.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they just got mixed up by about an hour, you said?
By the time zone, correct, by about an hour.
Okay. So how much longer do we have to wait here? And I say SA is willing to wait? I can't actually see in-game right now, so I don't know if SA
It looks like they are currently waiting,
okay.
Correct.
You've let them know, make sure they know everything?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Remix, I see you in there. Cyclone Jack. Everybody hanging out in chat. Welcome, welcome. Yep, so we're just on a small delay here.
Yeah.
So it looks like drop 2 is currently starting between Snackwatch and DFA. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. Give me just a moment here. I have a Windows setting which I thought I turned off. Actually decided it wanted to turn back on. And I have to turn it off.
Windows never makes errors, don't lie.
Windows never makes errors. I'm getting actually TeamSpeak notifications and I need to turn that off. And I don't know how to turn that off because I thought I turned it off. My apologies, ladies and gents. Give me just a minute here. Notification settings. How do I turn that off? Turn all of those knobs off. There. Hopefully I've turned that off. I think that's off now. Okay. So the match 2 between Snackwatch and DFA is currently going live. So I'm gonna mute myself here and let's show you match 2 between Snackwatch and DFA. Once again, if you're joining us here on MWR Leagues 1, we are currently on a small delay. RJF is on their way. So don't fret, we've got mech on mech action for you here.
And it definitely looks like that's what they're trying to do. DFA just moving up. Completely uncontested. Snackwatch doesn't have any lines really on this.
Yeah, I feel like Snackwatch is gonna have to spread out just a little bit more for this.
They are. If you see, their Warhawk is moving over here on the left side. They have a decent spread. Maybe that the Summoner should be a little bit more creative. Just get wider angles if possible. But this could get really ugly for Snackwatch real soon.
Looks like DFA is staying really tight together. They're being very careful with their movement. I'm not sure if DFA's lights have spotted the guys out in the gas station over here.
I don't know. Maybe Lawrence saw them, but it doesn't look like they care. They're just shoving together.
It's like the rotation's about to start.
And, that Vapor Eagle saw them, and he's run.
He should be. Oh, he's moving up.
He's moving up.
Oh no. His legs
This
are
could
getting
get yeah. This could get really bad for him.
He needs to get out of there now.
Yeah. And Charles needs to run as well. He has no business being up there.
He got some nice
big
strike
max
down.
there.
And Victus is
That's
low.
true. But now the rest of the team on Snackwatch has the lines of this, and 70% of those Mac and Mercedes, they need to just
Snackwatch is
tighten up
winning
their.
this. Ooh. And Victus is down 58%.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna lose that Warhawk really soon. Yeah, 67%'s gotta be open in a side door. So yep, there goes the side door. So CT's open and he goes down.
We need
Invictus still not down.
Turtles needs to go in right now.
Yeah, they're working on that Piranha for some reason. Turtles and Black Templars. This feels like a very disjointed fight.
This is very disjointed. We got 2 fights. We have a fight happening behind Psyche. There's a fight happening in front of him.
Psyche is like in the middle of everything. He's trying to go for the finisher on Invictus and he gets it. Maybe he can help with the light mix up here in the center. No, he's trying to help Morticia with that Black Mark II and the Sun Spider. Smart choice. That Mark II still alive is a lot of DPS. Chortles goes down. That's their only live mech for Snackwatch. And Seabiscuit is gonna have a field day now. Everything's open. He's got the machine guns.
It's cleanup time.
He stays alive. Yeah, it's cleanup time for him.
Psyche's the
I don't think
healthiest.
Snackwatch is going back. Yeah, I don't think Snackwatch is going back to this one.
This was a lot closer match than the last one. Ooh, Lawrence also gets a. Oh, never mind.
There we go.
I thought I read the wrong way.
Oh, almost got 2. They could have cleaned. If they had tightened up their aim and actually focused by one Mac at a time, I feel like they could have pulled it off. They had the lines on it.
They did. It was almost there. They just got, I don't know if they lost track of what they're shooting at or what. Well, let's look at the damage.
We just confusion there.
Psyche on DFA. He's the one I got the only kill on Invictus. He did a 405 in a Niger too. That's quite impressive. Let's look at.
I didn't see. I don't remember what you had on that night. I didn't quite see. I'm guessing like Gauss.
2 Gauss, 2 yellow.
Gauss size more. Gotcha.
And if we look at DFA, Foxy with the carry, 3 kills. With the ATM.
Those ATMs, dude. Those ATMs didn't work. That makes it's a beast in Q, beast in comp. If you play it right, if you stay in that
butter zone.
The right range. Yeah.
That was a good match. I liked it.
Might I just pipe in here and say I really like how Defunk said butter zone.
The maps right here. It's basically pretty standard stuff from Team 2 side. They sort of shoved as sneakily as possible sort of in this direction, right?
Yeah.
Without being seen. And at that point, if they have moved up this far into circle and your Team 1 side does not have okay. Give me 1 second. Check TeamSpeak as well. Send me that. But it's basically if they get to that point in the circle, if they get that close, there's not much that
looks like we'll be ready in 5 to 10
a team
minutes.
with full trait can do. They did manage
our
pretty
half of
well,
round
all in
1.
all. For their
Alright, so just in case you
all things
didn't
considered,
hear
but
that, Oblivion just
their
said looks
faces
like
had
RJF versus
much
Smoke
more
Adders
DPS,
will be ready to go in
back
approximately
to
5
two
minutes. So hang on to your seats, because we're going to get some awesome mech on mech action right here. I almost said the Dillcast. That would not have been good. Right here on MWO Competitive Leagues Channel 1.
Alright then.
About 5 minutes, guys and gals. 5 minutes.
But yeah, on the okay, let me just give them the 5 minutes here.
Alright, you should be able to do the things.
Perfect. They have the 5 minutes started. If you want to keep talking about what happened in that drop, I'll get this set up.
Yeah. Where is there? There we go. So what happened, guys, was DFA started making a push this way. Snackwatch's Vapor Eagle spotted it out. I think he should have pulled out a lot sooner. He pulled out he took a little too long, in my opinion, to pull out. As soon as I see something like that, I'm gone. Boof. I'm out of there. So what DFA excuse me, I have to get these names. Snackwatch, they did a very smart move here. I'm not sure where any position was the best place, because you know there's a lot of stuff in your way at this gas station, right? I feel like if they maybe moved towards the middle more, they could have done more work. But they did a very smart thing. They pulled back, they spread out, they're in the buildings. The Warhawk, unfortunately, was up close because he's probably the slowest thing on there. And their focus fire at the very beginning, when the first Mad Cat showed up, was very strong. They nearly killed him. They halved him, I believe. And all it takes was really, you know, DFA just had to catch up and just press W for the win. And that's what they did. There's a lot of there's a lot of isolated fights happening. We had a fight up here. We had a fight back here. And we had 3 different fights going on. And at that point,
It was very confusing.
yeah, I feel like communication probably broke down for Snackwatch. Again, after Seneschal died, he's a team leader. He's in that Warhawk, right?
I cannot edit the sheet that you sent me, so you're gonna have to do that for me. I'll take over the map strat if you can't figure that out. So,
Okay.
but yeah, up onto the next drop we have here. The maps that we have for Drop 3 is Forest Colony Snow Classic, the 01, Hibernal Rift, Prepare Your Eyes, and Frozen City Night Classic. So we get a lot of white, a lot of snow in this one. As far as I remember, Hibernal Rift was the last minute switch that happened a couple days ago before this tournament. It used to be the new Frozen City, but they realized that the Frozen City Night sort of plays differently than Forest Colony and Frozen City the old ones, which are much more oriented towards brawling. Whereas Frozen City, the new one, has much wider lines, so it's more suited towards those control type strats. And like we said at the start, those Drop 3 and beyond do switch to a conquest style of play, so much more control. If they want to play control, they can do that. Whereas before, you could just shove the circle and domination and take advantage of that. The team had to keep someone inside the circle at all times.
So it looks currently from MW Leagues 2, we have DFA taking 2 drops off of Snackwatch. So 2 drops from Snackwatch. We are still waiting on the RJF versus Smoke Adders drop taking place hopefully soon. So just hold on to your pants.
There you go.
3 drops, my apologies.
It works.
Forehead.
Perfect. Professional streamers, by the way. Alright. Team 2 looks locked.
Alright, we have RJF.
Is that so? Do we have RJF?
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready? Okay. Give me just a minute here to set my stuff back up. Alright, that is correct. RJF is in the lobby. Hooray! I'm excited. I'm excited. Can you feel the excitement in the air? I can feel the excitement. We've got RJF versus Smoke Adders. We've been waiting. We've been waiting. And now the time is now. Now the time is now. Words are hard, guys. I'm sorry. Now, once again, I do apologize for the wait. Again, there was a little bit of a mix-up in terms of times, but now we are here. RJF is in the lobby, just waiting on a few final things, and then we will be ready on the drop. In 1937, yes, Kurlan. Yes, the match will take place in 1937. See, what we're actually going to do, Kurlan, is we're actually going to go back in time to do the match. Because the match actually takes place in 1937. It's just Oblivion and I have this super secret teleportation technology. I'm sorry, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here to try and come up with something to talk about. I did not prepare for having to wait this long, so I ran out of things to talk about. But we're here. We got RJF in the lobby. We're now just waiting on SA to come back. SA, come on back. You got a match to play. Once again, guys and gals, we do apologize for the short delay, but this match should be starting up in about 2 or 3 minutes here. Again, welcome on in everybody who is recently tuned in to the channel. My name is Nita Pickle. I've got my friend and co-caster here, Oblivion SK.
Heyo.
Heyo. Oblivion and I are both unit members of 228 Battalion Blackwatch. I should get a random number generator going here. And once again, this is the 228 hosted Summer Grand Prix, organized by Oblivion Shadow Knight. And, yes, MW Leagues 1 is currently casting. MW Leagues 2 is currently casting Snackwatch versus DFA. And we are just waiting on Smoke Adders now. So you can see, I'm going to put the overall standings back on screen here. So we've got SA versus RJF, Snackwatch versus DFA. All right, Oblivion, since we do still have a few more minutes, let's talk about something. Let's keep people entertained. Let's have a short discussion about MechWarrior 5 here. Let me hear from you about what you think about what you're excited about in terms of the new MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries game coming out later on in September.
I got to slip into MechCon a bit early the second day and play the demo while the convention center was still mostly empty for quite a long time actually. It was very fun. It was very, very fun. That game felt reminiscent of MechWarrior 4 for sure. Even what they had then, it brought back so much nostalgia. It was very entertaining.
I too also did get the chance to play the Mech 5 both at MechCon 2017 and MechCon 2018, and yeah, I will echo most of what you said. I felt it did feel like a classic sort of Mech 3. It did have like a Mech 3 / Mech 4 vibe to it, with of course very beautiful graphics. So it's definitely a game that I'm looking forward to. It's been a while since we've had a new single player mech game, so I'm excited about it.
Very long time since we've had a single player mech game.
True. Mech 4, actually Mech 4 Mercs being probably the last official game. 2002 I think is when that one came out. I know Mech 3 came out in 98. I believe Mech 4 came out in either 99 or 2000. One of the two. It was a while ago, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, Mercenaries was like 2003. Alright, we have both teams here. I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer.
Alright, both teams are currently in the lobby. Oh boy. So, what do you think we might see in terms of mechs and some... Obviously we don't know what map it is yet because the map is yet to be randomly generated. But in terms of...
I can be all over that pickle, don't you worry.
Okay, well tell me your thoughts. What are you thinking? What do you think we're gonna see here?
You know, I'm honestly not sure. I think with all the rules changes that we've made, it could really go anywhere. I think this first bucket of maps favors a little more mid-rangey, short-rangey, not quite full-in brawl, but I don't think you're gonna see a lot of like ER large lasers here. I think some PPC Pop-Tarts would be reasonable. ATMs definitely. Laser vomit. Oh, and by the way, Viridian Bog will be drop 1.
Viridian Bog will be drop 1. So you've already done the random number generator, have you?
I have. It was
Okay.
3.
It was 3,
3 is-
okay.
3 is Viridian Bog.
All right. I'll put my random number generator away. So I see someone asked in chat how many drops? 3. 3 drops are currently going to be happening. We're just waiting on the teams to ready up. Viridian Bog will be the map that is...
And just so everyone knows, what happened was we had a choice between Canyon Network, Mining Collective, or Viridian Bog. We allowed Google to randomly select a map for us, and it chose Viridian Bog because it likes dank-ass swamps.
You heard it here first, folks. Google likes swamps. I wonder where their main servers are located. Probably in a swamp.
Definitely, meanwhile, in the Legion of Doom.
Alright, so we've got... Smoke Adders are ready to go. They're ready to go. We'll give RJF a few more minutes here to prepare. And Snackwatch versus DFA is on MWO Leagues 2. I believe that is currently going on right now.
So their deck looks good.
Alright. So once again, this
See.
is RJF, Russian Jade Falcon versus Smoke Adders. Drop 1 is about to commence here.
Looks like RJF is almost ready here. Let's
All
just
right.
take a sneak peek at the mechs here.
Make sure nothing is illegal. Make sure we don't have any rules violations.
Looks legal to me.
All right. I'm excited. I'm ready. My body is ready. Is your body ready? Your body should be ready because we're about to go live here. Round 1. Russian Jade Falcon versus Smoke Adders.
Alright, let's quickly switch this up to Viridian Bog and throw them into some Mech Warrior, shall we?
Throw them into some mech warrior. I like that. I like it a lot. Here we go. Match 1 starting right now. So you mentioned you might be you mentioned you might see some PPCs. You vaguely mentioned you might not see any like ER large lasers or something.
I don't think so. I think the risk of Viridian Bog is too great to bring a bunch of slow mechs or mechs that need to pull really good range to be able to be effective against other strategies. I think we're going to see a decent amount of medium pulse lasers. I think we're going to see some ATMs. I think we're going to see some chunky assault mechs, like stuff that gets to like mix in there and grab stuff, and you know, the kind of mechs that pick up other mechs and then hit a third mech with the second mech.
Wow. My my UI has definitely bugged. So that's
What's
fun.
happened? Well,
We're okay. Everything
we don't
is
need
okay.
UIs where we're going.
We don't need
Looks
UI.
like Russian Jade Falcon brought an Annihilator, a Vapor Eagle, an Assassin, a Summoner, and 2 Vulcans. So
Smoke Adder
definitely
side-
looking.
Sorry? Go ahead.
They're definitely looking to brawl here. They have some standoffish mechs. The pivot point, so to speak, of their decks definitely the Annihilator, and then they're going to be really aggressive with basically everything but that Summoner, which I'm going to go out on a limb and assume is PPCs. Oh, I was wrong. I was bad Oblivion. double clan Ultra AC-10s. So they're just all in with this really high DPS deck. And they're probably going to look to mix up with Smoke Adders, which...
Over here on the Smoke Adder side, we've got, I think, a mix of long range and short range stuff. We've got a Piranha. We've got a Annihilator there. Smoke Adders is making a... Sorry, Russian Jade Falcon. Their lights are making a small coordinated push with the Assassin, the Vulcan... the two Vulcans over behind Smoke Adder's Annihilator. Smoke Adders are making a small push over to where I believe is Delta 5 area.
Smoke Adder's definitely a little stretched out here. I think those really fast, aggressive Russian Jade Falcon mediums could capitalize on that if they see it.
Unfairing there in the Annihilator.
Mostly brawl from most teams here, by the way. I think the only non-brawl mech is the mid-range Warhammer 6R, which is ER medium lasers and Gauss rifles. Something I think is really going to be effective here on Viridian Bog because it runs nice and cool.
So unfairing here in the Annihilator. Not, Smoke Adders is... Well,
Smoke Adders is looking to corral their pilots here. They're formed up along that staircase around the domination point.
Mad Cat 3050 in that Piranha does go down.
RJF has commenced like a hammer and anvil technique here. They put their medium mechs in, they waited very patiently for the perfect opportunity to strike. They picked that one mech, now they're coming in from the rear. And if you look over here at the Annihilator Summoner and Vapor Eagle being very aggressive, all together, all exposed all at once on this ridgeline together, that Summoner took a beating, but he's rotating out, rotating armor very well. I think something RJF has always been good at has been rotating armor and executing things well in a well-timed manner. Smoke Adders have fallen back a little bit though.
Smoke Adders taking some heavy damage here. Kevster in his Huntsman down to 6%.
6%? Oh, I looked at it and just assumed it was 60.
And now he is done. It is just Yin Yang and Unfairing left on Smoke Adder's side.
Definitely did his job though, getting himself down to 6%. Really taking one for the team there.
Russian Jade Falcon. Some very smart pokes.
Yeah,
well-coordinated event.
It was a very...
they take drop one here.
It was a very intelligent play by them. They kind of sat their medium mechs off in the middle of the swamp. They didn't engage a ton. I think I saw the assassin fire maybe once. They kept their heads low and they waited to see what Smoke Adders were doing and waited for them to get into like a position they could capitalize on, and swung in from the back right as their front line pushed in, squeezing Smoke Adders between their two lines. It was a really well coordinated effort to watch.
I just gave you the match ID there. So RJF only lost one mech from that engagement.
That was definitely well fought from them. It was well fought from Smoke Adders too. They took that position on the stairs. I think they had a little discontinuity between their front line and their back line, or at least if not being discontinuous, they just wound up in a bad position to fight what RJF was doing. It could have just been some bad luck. That's a pretty standard movement.
All right, let's take a look at the map strat here. Let me bring up the map strat here. So now both teams have 5 minutes left. Sorry, 5 minutes to prepare for drop 2. Let me bring up Viridian Bog, because this is not Viridian Bog, by the way. This is River City. If you haven't seen River City, it is a beautiful coastal town and on Cantares 3. And it's got coastal town things. Okay. Viridian Bog. So, we kind of saw a movement of sorts by Smoke Adders, something along the lines of this. Kind of into the circle up near the Delta 5 area. There is a little, oops, how do I use this tool? There's a little kind of hill there. Well, Smoke Adders wanted to kind of sit. From the other side, we saw RJF post their long-range mechs around here. The blue circle. The blue circle is a little hard to see. Let me try and make that a little more pronounced. So they kind of set themselves up around that circle there. And we saw a lot of trading going on between Smoke Adder's Annihilator and RJF's Summoner and such. Now, one thing I do want to mention is RJF did have some really aggressive lights and mediums. We had an Assassin and 2 Vapor Eagles on RJF's side that kind of did of movement similar to what you see on stream here. However, I think a closer reaction to how they moved was about here. Was about that blue line there. And basically what their lights and mediums did was they just got up in behind Smoke Adder's like Annihilator and their big heavy mechs, and they were just poking them. You know, that Vapor Eagle, the Vulcan comes in with 6 medium pulse lasers. You get 2 of those behind you, and that is not a fun time. Wolfhound has a similar build, but the Vulcan does have the jump jets capable of jump jetting. So RJF seemed like they had a very clear idea as to what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go. Smoke Adders, unfortunately, just kind of moved all of their mechs into one position, held there for a couple of minutes, and then RJF was able to make that move on them with their lights. So they kind of got themselves into a little bit of a pincer situation. Their Annihilator started trading with some of their mechs up on the ridge, and unfortunately, I don't know if he was able to put a lot of damaging shots downrange.
Annihilators are a really big commitment to resources.
That
by
they
taking
are.
one, you say, by spending this 100 tons, I am creating a strategy in which this mech is going to deal lots of damage. And if an enemy team throws a monkey wrench into that plan and makes it difficult for you to get that Annihilator immediately into an effective position with the rest of your team supporting it all the time, it can be hard to recover from that. It's just 100 tons is a major investment, even in a higher tonnage tournament like this.
Yeah, because it is a 6v6 tournament, determining where mechs are and what they do is a very, I would say, serious thing to plan for. You don't want, and again, because the Annihilator is as slow as it is, it's going to take time for that Annihilator to get to where it needs to get to. And if you have an opposing force with a bunch of very fast mechs, like for example the Vulcan, the Assassin, Piranhas, Wolfhounds, getting a mech that big into the fight and into a spot where it can be utilized can be very difficult at times, and we kind of saw that on Smoke Adder's side. It looked like they had a kind of plan as to where they wanted to go, and that's that red circle that you see there on the screen on the map strat. But it looked like they were not able to really get themselves set up into a proper position. RJF getting some quick lines, quick scouting information, finding out where they are, making that move, sending their 3 lights over to disrupt the Annihilator. The Annihilator did actually stop and try to trade with them for a little bit, which ultimately was probably the demise of the rest of his team, because he was kind of sightlining himself from his teammates, and his teammates were being attacked by RJF's mechs up on the ridge, up in that blue circle there. So still a fun match to watch, fun match to play, I'm sure. First match goes to RJF. We still got 2 more matches. If the match goes to a tie, obviously we'll get a 4th, and we'll go from there.
Check the timer, see how much time they have. take a look at his decks, make sure.
So it looks like we're just getting ready on drop 2 here. RJF versus Smoke Adders. I did get a mention that my microphone is maybe a little quiet. I have adjusted it, so in comparison to Oblivion's mic, mine should now be the same amount of loudness, so you should be able to hear me a little bit better. We've got 20 seconds left for both teams to ready up, and then the map will be randomly generated. Oblivion, do you need me to do that?
No, I got 3 again. And 1 would have been Rubelite, 2 would have been Tourmaline, and 3 is what we got, Grimplexus.
Grimplexus, okay. So drop 2 of RJF versus SA is going to be on Grimplexus. Hopefully my my in-game overlay won't mess up here. So both teams have readied up.
Alright, let's
It is interesting to note real quick that Smoke Adders is dropping 10 tons lighter than RJF, so it's gonna
That's
be
because they chose to take a duplicate.
Oh, I see. So they've got a duplicate mech.
Well, I took a little sneak peek. I guess I can let you guys know just a couple seconds earlier.
Okay.
They doubled up on Warhammers. They took a Warhammer last drop too. I think that's a real hidden gem right now in all the heavy mechs. Heavies are in a really bad spot competitively right now because it's just like, why would I take this if this medium mech can do almost that but at twice the speed? So the Warhammer is, it's in an interesting space. You can take a lot of firepower and still remain relatively mobile for an IS heavy.
And because this tournament doesn't have any sort of clan versus IS restrictions, we do have the possibility of seeing clan mechs. Most of the clan heavies and stuff do have that speed advantage to them. So over here on Team 2 side, Smoke Adders, we've got Yin Yang and the Warhammer. And then Kevster there. Sorry.
We have another Warhammer, bringing dual Gauss ER Meads again. A very effective build on that mech.
Unfairing there in a Marauder 2C. And then Smoke Adder's lights consist of a Huntsman and Piranha and a Vulcan.
A quad PPC Marauder, to be exact.
A quad
Something
PPC
I don't
Marauder.
think I've ever seen competitively. Going to be very interesting, very good for Grimplexus.
Can't say I've seen such a thing either. It's going to be an interesting. RJF
I think that might have been
bringing-
a little bit of a chance that they took there, because on Tourmaline Desert, a mech like that will be very, very hot.
The Marauder 2 already throwing off some PPCs at that Wolfhound there. Both shots do miss, although they get some shots on this Vulcan here.
Russian Jade Falcon's deck is a bit reminiscent of last drop. It has an Annihilator, a Summoner, and some decently mobile mechs. A Champion in their deck, actually. A Champion 1NB featuring 4 AC2s. We haven't really gotten to see a lot out of the Champion at all because it's very new to the competitive scene.
The Annihilator on RJF's side is lagging quite far behind. You can see the Champion over here on the left side of the screen.
Throwing those AC2s downrange, trying to out DPS that Warhammer and that Marauder. Not very hard to out DPS Gauss rifles, but can be difficult to trade with at that range, that's for sure.
So both teams taking a fairly long-range engagement against each other right now. Unfairing in that Marauder 2C down to 88% with those
I
three
think-
PPCs.
I think the topography of Grimplexus does usually really force like a mid to long range early game. I think as we start to go into the late game here, we'll get closer range as mechs get more beat up and people
Now-
are more willing to make ballsy plays.
RJF does hold 6 seconds on the circle, so that will require Smoke Adders to make a move if they want to have an advantage in this match. But both teams definitely have decks capable of attacking each other at this range.
Smoke Adders looks like they're shifting their weight closer to the city, trying to get ready for that engagement that, like you said, they are going to have to make at one point because RJF got the domination circle before they did.
Now let's take a look at Unfairing's Marauder 2C. He's down to 59%. Let's see what's damaged on him here. Yin Yang in the Warhammer down to 59.
A side torso open on that Marauder. Those 4 PPCs still doing a lot of damage to...
Smoke Adder's Lights want to be aggressive over here near Epsilon, just past Tabletop. But RJF's Lights and Mediums are ready to pounce just in case. The Vapor Eagle, sorry, the Vulcan and the Wolfhound there. Both teams. Kevster 128 and that Huntsman trying to get some shots downrange on RJF's Lights here.
And I believe he's ATM, so if he can get off on those light mechs, it's curtains, dude. ATM's very devastating for light mechs inside the 3 missile range because they tend to gravitate only towards CT and legs.
RJF's Lights making a small push here on Smoke Adder's Huntsman.
That was definitely not small. They are balls deep here now, Pickle. They are heavily committing to this fight. They're going in on Smoke Adder's medium mechs.
Needs to get in
The
there.
Huntsman goes down. The ATMs, the biggest risk to their light mechs, just went down.
Captain Judas out there in that Vapor Eagle, taking lots of shots from RJF. Not in a position, his team is not in a position to back him up, and he does go down. Mad Cat 3050 there in the Piranha, attempting to see if he can get away from RJF's forces. 2 mechs currently down.
Unfortunately, that Marauder wasn't really in a good position to provide support when RJF finally did make their movement, which I think is what RJF was looking for. They were looking to isolate a portion of Smoke Adders and push in on that portion with their slightly higher mobility.
And that looks
I think they did that quite well.
That looks like exactly what's going on right now. Smoke Adders down 3 mechs, RJF making a fairly heavy push.
RJF is all quite beat up though. Smoke Adders definitely kicking and screaming here, trying to claw their way back into an advantage. Doesn't look like it's going to be their game.
Mad Cat goes down, death by slave labor, and it's just that Warhammer 6R left. Down to 50% there.
Now, even though RJF didn't lose any mechs here, if you look at how damaged some of their mechs are, I mean, some of these guys are 1-2 shots away from death. This was a closer fight than what the scoreboard may report it as. Definitely well fought by both teams.
Oh, for sure. So let's see here. Let's look at some of the damage numbers here. We've got Pelham Shek on RJF's team doing 517 on Annihilator. The Charger doing 355 there.
Like what we said before, when you take a deck with the Annihilator and then a bunch of mobile mechs, you're committing to making your mobile mechs support your Annihilator to make it do as much damage as possible. And if you look at the scoreboard here, 517 damage from the Annihilator, the most we see from any of the 12 mechs on the battlefield. Definitely accomplished by RJF, making sure that that mech was in a position where it did well the whole time.
And I do want to say both teams did do a fairly good job at trading with each other early on. We can take a look at the map strat in just a minute here. Let me get the map strat ready. So that's Grim Plexus. So drop 2 does go to RJF. We do have one more match to go here. So Oblivion, let's take a look at the map strat here. Doot. Once again, that was Grim Plexus Domination. Drop 3 is going to be Conquest, correct?
It's a best of 3 actually, Pickle. So RJF has already won.
Oh, my bad. All right, congratulations to RJF. So let's get into the map strat here. So we got Grim Plexus here. So basically what we saw from both teams was an initial push up into the circle. RJF did take about 6 seconds on that circle ahead of Smoke Adders. And we kind of saw one of... Oh, that's the wrong color. My apologies. We did kind of see one of these movements here from RJF, where they had mechs set up around this way and around this way. Sorry, Smoke Adders. We had Smoke Adders. Smoke Adders is the red lines. And RJF are the blue lines. We had a bunch of RJF mechs kind of hanging out right in the bottom of this ridge in Gulf 7. And we had Smoke Adders mechs, specifically their lights, kind of push into this little valley here. And it looked like Smoke Adders did want to make some sort of aggressive push, but they didn't have their assaults and heavies to back them up. And RJF was actually able to make an engagement and make a little bit of a push this way before Smoke Adders was able to make an engagement of the sort. And unfortunately for Smoke Adders, they lost that second match, which actually makes for RJF to be victorious for tonight. I believe in anything you want to add here?
I think we saw just how powerful the Annihilator can be, and how powerful, well, rather how it can also not be powerful. I think we saw both teams take one, drop two. We saw both teams take one, drop one. RJF take one, drop two. And it definitely it's an anchor for your team. I mean, it's an anchor made out of TNT, but it's still an anchor. And
yes, being a very slow mech.
It's, yeah, I think it can show people just how complicated some of these strategies can be when they seem simpler, when they're executed so fluidly by teams like RJF, Smoke Adders. It can seem like it was pretty cut and dry, but actually a lot of the time it's very complicated. Trying to maneuver a mech that sometimes goes like 40 kilometers, like that wouldn't even be street legal in the real world because it's so slow.
That is true. Now we did see a small side flanking engagement by RJF's Charger over by gas station. I've kind of illustrated it here on the map, being able to take shots downrange on Smoke Adders' long-range heavies, which kind of posted themselves around Hamburger Hill area, kind of here. Real quick question for you here, Oblivion. Are we going to be doing post-match interviews with the teams?
No, we need to quickly move on to round 2, so not this time.
Okay. All right, so what do we got for round 2 here?
We have RGF versus Snackwatch and SA versus WKL.
All right. So I'm guessing we're going to be casting the RJF versus Snackwatch match?
Yes, we will.
All right. I will update my graphics accordingly. So, Russian Jade Falcon moving on into round 2. Smoke Adders eliminated. Once again, thank you to all the teams who have decided to sign up and participate tonight. Smoke Adders is now out, losing 2-0 to RJF.
I've reformed the lobby, by the way, Pickle.
Alright, you're going to have to
send you an
invite me again. Is Snackwatch 1C or 2Cs? I believe it's 2Cs.
I believe it is 2 Cs.
It's a clan mech?
Shut up, Pickle.
I'm sorry, I had to. I couldn't resist. All right, so round 2, Summer Grand Prix. I've accepted your lobby invite. So we are now just waiting for our Snack Watch and RJF to populate the lobbies, and we will go from there. Once again, MWR Leagues 2 is streaming the other matches going on tonight. So MWR Leagues 1 and MWR Leagues 2 are both streaming matches. Go watch the streams. So we got Snack Watch and RJF.
Which,
right.
make sure I got that. We have, I just said it, it's RJF versus Snackwatch. That's right. That's right.
Yes, versus Snackwatch. Snackwatch taking the win from DFA in round 1, moving on to round 2. And there was a bit of a delay, so they had to kind of wait until our match finished before they were able to before the team was able to before the round 2 matchups were able to take place, is what I'm trying to say, but words are hard and I can't talk. I'm sorry. Also want to quickly just kind of point out that this is our second attempt at casting a competitive tournament of sorts. And Oblivion and I did cast a 2v2 Solaris style event about 2 years ago. Admin and operated by both Oblivion and I. And it was a lot of fun. It was our first time doing it, so there was a lot of issues to iron out. And again, we haven't... I haven't casted something in a long time. And Oblivion hasn't either, but we're doing it. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. So we're just waiting on the matches to start. Once again, this is now RJF versus Snackwatch. Snackwatch taking the drops off of DFA, and RJF taking the drops off of Smoke Adders. Once again, thank you all the teams for signing up and participating, taking the time out of your days to sign up and play the matches tonight. Thank you guys for that. And thank you everybody in chat for tuning in, watching the streams. Hope you guys are enjoying the matches tonight. It is definitely a fun time, that's for sure.
me get a hold of WKL here.
So Oblivion, what are we gonna see from MW Leagues 2? What's the next matchup on their side there? SA versus WKL? I see that. Never mind. I can read.
Whoop, delete that. Okay. Yeah, SA versus WKL.
Alright.
And RJF versus Snackwatch.
Everybody is making comments in the chat about pickles.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't actually know why, Oblivion. I don't have the slightest clue in the world as to why such a thing would be talked about. Seabiscuit going so far as to say that he would fight he would fight cockroaches and stuff as a pickle.
Oh. That's definitely not a reference.
No, I mean, I don't know what reference it could be referring to. Not at all. Not in the slightest.
And that's strange because Pickle always gets every reference.
You know what? You know what?
Yes? Do I know? Do I know what?
You're gonna have
I
to
do.
ask
I
me
know
to
about the word
relax.
what. You have to ask me to relax.
This is what I have to deal with on a daily basis, guys. But it's okay.
Let's see, waiting on Snackwatch here.
All right. Oh. Let's fix
Got
that
'em.
tag there.
Fix what tag?
I accidentally put 288 Snackwatch instead of 228 Snackwatch.
Oh my god, how could you?
I just see people posting that in chat there. 228. They digi-evolved into a higher form. You know, it's funny because that joke goes far, far back. RJ Base actually made an alt unit, and he actually called it 288. I don't think the actual unit exists anymore, but it was out there for a little while.
I think what we ended up doing was we took all the alt accounts and accounts that we thought were like random Smurf accounts from other people and dumped them all into 288.
Oh, okay. I haven't talked to RJ in a while. I hope he's doing okay.
I certainly hope he's doing okay as well, Pickle.
And once again, folks, thank you all so much for tuning in. We've got Snackwatch versus RJF, Russian Jade Falcon, round 2 of the 228th hosted Summer Grand Prix. Just waiting on both teams to get ready here.
I see 320 tons from Team 2. I certainly hope that's not their final tonnage.
I also see 320.
Only there were 100 more tons, then they could blaze it.
Oblivion, how many times have people told you that you are the most funny person this side of the galaxy? Have you heard that before? People told you that?
Like 3.5 parsecs ago, I think. Even though a parsec is does not measure time.
It does not measure
despite-
time.
Despite what Star Wars Episode 4 would have you believe.
Which arguably is the one thing in Star Wars Episode 4 that bothers me the most.
Oh, that's the only thing that bothered you about that movie?
Yes. The rest of it I'm
Okay.
willing to let slide. But that one scene, less than 12 parsecs, does not make any sense, and it bothers me to this day. And it will continue to bother me until the end of time, because it came out before I was born. I don't know what that has to do with it. But Oblivion and I are both young. Super young.
Yeah, Pickle's actually 12 on the inside. I don't know if everybody knew that.
Well, I don't know. You actually can't say anything because you're actually younger than I am by a few years.
Only in legal, measurable, numerical age.
I disagree. I
Okay,
firmly believe that I am more mature than you are.
okay. I believe you.
I don't think you do. But
All right,
would you
both
believe
teams
me?
are locked. Both teams are locked. Let's shut off the timer. Let's roll our map.
All right. I was gonna say, would you believe me if I told you that Snackwatch now has 345 tons? Both teams are actually running exactly the same tonnage. So this should be-
345 is an acceptable tonnage. We have one duplicate over here with 0 hero mechs. We have one duplicate over here with 0 hero mechs. Womp womp. RIP hero mechs. They got 2. They have Mining Collective.
All right, Mining Collective it is. Round 2, drop 1. RJF versus Snackwatch versus Snackwatch. Almost the same name.
Snackwatch versus Snackwatch? I don't think so.
No, Smoke Adders. I said Smoke Adders by mistake. It's not, in fact, Smoke Adders. So what are your predictions here for this match, seeing what we've seen before from RJF?
Well, I have a very strong feeling that RJF will again take an Annihilator in which the rest of their team will have to pivot around to support. I think that if we're going to see anything strange that we haven't seen before, it's going to be some shenanigans from Snackwatch. Very notorious for shenanigans.
Shenanigans, you say?
Shenanigans.
Alright. So the dropships have arrived.
And it looks like, yep, RJF, same deck. We have that Annihilator and a bunch of fast movers.
Snapwatch choosing a little bit more of a mobile deck. We've got a Hunchback 2C, a Mad Cat Mark II, two Mad Cat Mark IIs, rather, and a Vapor Eagle and a Vulcan.
That 2CA, actually, a pair of PPCs and an AMS. Looks like 206 might have been anticipating some missile fire coming from RJF.
Morticia's taking some shots downrange on one of RJF's mechs currently. Looks like her PPC shot did connect on Slave Labor's Assassin. It's down to 99%. That could be just some damage, collision damage. We've got White Eyes up here in the Vulcan, getting some scouting information, seeing what you can see. ATMs from Snackwatch's side locked onto RJF there, but they missed. Snackwatch.
It looks like we got these Mad Cat 2C beats just kicking it into high gear, looking to round this corner and start throwing some lead down range onto RJF, and that could put that summoner in like a not so great position if they execute this properly. The summoner, a very mobile mech, but not impervious to enemy fire. If you can pull off some shenanigans.
Turtle's on that protecting the back of his team from MK in the Vulcan. who wants to get aggressive on this side, but he can't.
Looks like the Mad Cats changed their mind. They didn't find a good engagement on the left and have chosen to go right. You know, changing your mind when you do something like that can actually be a really good idea. Some people think, well, as soon as you make a decision, you have to commit to it. Sometimes a last minute flip, you know, I mean, if you don't know it, if you don't know what's going to happen if you go around that corner, sometimes it's best to change it up.
That is true. There can be times when it is detrimental to your team's success. We're not seeing any movement from Snackwatch currently. Looks like
we have a couple of Vapor Eagles, a Vulcan and an Assassin coming very close to each other. I don't think they spotted each other. It's Slave Labor in the Assassin 21 and Black Templar Raptors in that Vulcan. Oh, it looks like they have made each other. And
now.
We're going to get a little light 1v1 action going on over here while the fight on the other side of the map's gone a little stale.
They've decided to back away from each other and reposition back to their teammates. MK still on the ramp there in that Vulcan. Wants to see if he can get Chortles there on that Piranha. RJF, Summoner, and Vulcan, White Eyes are up here. Just got hit by a strike. White Eyes down to 82. Desertu in that Summoner. I believe he's got ballistics on that Summoner there. He does.
Yes, that Summoner Prime with dual Ultra AC-10, something we see in queue from time to time, but hasn't really made any waves. It's very potent mech in the right situations.
Taking a lot of shots on Morticia here. Morticia in the back with the PPC Hunchback does go down. She was not able to reposition in time.
Those Hunchbacks are highly allergic to enemy weapons fire compared to other battle mechs. When they can get caught in the open like that, they go down quick. I know people really enjoy the Hunchback 2Cs, but they do not stand up to weapons fire like an IS medium can.
Chortles here on the Piranha trying to make a small play on Slave Labor's back and the Assassin. He's got Black Templar Raptors to back him up here.
Yeah, it looks... We got White Eyes making some aggressive plays. It looks like RJF is finally making a play for the domination circle for the center. Snackwatch firmly entrenched there, starting to fall back. The Mad Cat 2CB goes down. That's a lot of firepower that's now off the battlefield for 206.
Chortles down to 67% in that Piranha. Back Templar does go down. 3 mechs left on Snackwatch's side.
RJF's Annihilator is in very, very rough shape. He's just a tap away from death if they can get some good shots off. Seneschal can snap some.
Chortles did take a lot of fire off of Slave's Assassin there. Ultimately, he goes down though as a result of that.
And it looks like this one is going to go in RJF's favor.
So RJF taking drop 1 off of Snackwatch.
Very clean match from RJF here. We saw them just kind of not engage for a little bit, waited for the right time to strike, and took the time to maneuver that Annihilator into play. Like I've been saying, RJF, the last couple of games they just played, it's a lot of being very patient and putting your Annihilator in the right place at the right time, and they do very well of making things happen around that Annihilator to keep it effective.
Now, I do want to say Snackwatch's lights were fairly aggressive, and they were able to get some really good shots on RJF's lights and mediums and assaults. Unfortunately, they were not able to do enough to effectively cripple RJF. I think had they been able to do to get some extra shots downrange there, and maybe single out a mech or two, the match could have been a little bit closer. But nonetheless, great job by both teams. Match 1 does go to RJF, taking out all 6 mechs on Snackwatch's side. So, drop 1 does go to RJF. Let's get the map strat up here. Personally, I think the hardest part of casting is actually remembering all that went on after the match happens and talking about it. I seem to have a very difficult time doing that, so I'm going to attempt to do it here
with Mining Collective.
Mining Collective. So 5 minutes are on the clock for both teams to finalize their next deck selection.
So we kind of saw an engagement kind of happen in like this area here, which I think is really interesting. You usually don't see that part of the map used.
Yeah, that part of the map there, yeah, typically doesn't get a lot of play. But you know what? We
Usually
saw...
just empty space, yeah.
All right, let's be serious here. Let's be serious. So
206 made a play like this. They spread out this way. They sent some light mechs around here, and you know, if we just connect the dots between the 3 lines I just drew, that's a decent, you know, little curve of control that they tried to establish there, and it can be a successful strategy on this map. What you're drawing there in the blue by RJF, they just kind of did the exact opposite. They formed up a line to counter it. They sent light mechs out to the side here, and they just kind of tried to repel 206 back until they could maneuver their Annihilator all the way up here to Theta, actually, where it then pushed across and kind of just ended the fight by the time it had completed its set path.
we did see a very quick engagement between RJF's, I believe it was the Assassin, and Snackwatch's Vulcan.
Yes.
Over around this line, this blue line here. And I expected to see a little bit more of a 1v1 going on there, but as soon as they saw each other, they just they took one shot and backed off. It was very interesting to see. Now, Snackwatch's lights did a very good job of being aggressive. It's possible that they may have been a little too aggressive because they did take quite a bit of damage. I saw Turtles there at one point down to 38%, about halfway into that fight. But having aggressive lights, if done well, can be a very big detriment towards the enemy team. And I saw a lot of good plays coming from Snackwatch's lights there. Like, for example, when RJF was making that move up to Theta, I'm just going to kind of do that to the map here. When RJF was making that move up to Theta, what we saw from Snackwatch's lights, we had both the Vapor Eagle and the Piranha kind of come up along this way and start to get some back shots in on RJF's lights, RJF's main force, which actually caused RJF to have to turn around a little bit. Unfortunately for Snackwatch, they were already one mech down, and they didn't have the armor or the firepower to actually take out RJF's mechs, and RJF was able to actually take them out before they could do anything. So yeah.
Okay, both teams have given the green light. I have double checked both teams' decks, and they're legal. So we rolled Grim Plexus again. So let's see it. Let's see how this works out.
All right.
Let's see if RJF makes any changes to their deck. They might just go in with that same Annihilator deck on every map that they play.
It so far has worked well for them.
Very surprising. Yeah, which, I mean, in last year's Worlds, we saw a lot of Annihilator plays from a lot of teams, and you really see how you have to build your team around it, and it can be a hard strategy to execute and frustrating to practice, to be perfectly honest.
Especially in a 6v6 situation where every mech is critical.
Yes, definitely. And it's, you know, it's definitely speaks to how talented some of the members of RJF is if they can take a deck that's usually quite frustrating to play in practice and really make a polished, well-coordinated effort with it.
Well, I seem to have broken my map again. But it's okay. The match has started. Let's see what RJF has brought.
RJF with the same Annihilator deck as we saw in the last round on Grim Plexus.
Snackwatch definitely mixing it up here. We've got Psyche in a Night Gear, Morticia in a Summoner this time, and Sanachal in a Warhawk. So a couple different options, a little bit more long range.
Taking a bit of flavor here. Again, both teams, or not both teams. 206 bringing AMS on a handful of their mechs, still possibly expecting some ATMs perhaps, out of RJF. Definitely not unrealistic in this current meta.
Trolls in that piranha, getting into the circle first there. Slave labor in that wolfhound. Sorry, RJF has the lead on the timer currently.
So it looks like 206 deck is a piranha and then all Pop-Tarts and ATM mix.
Unfortunately, I've broken my camera. It is slanted to the left a little bit, and I can't fix that. Sorry, to the right. So I apologize, everybody. The crooked camera is crooked.
Only 3 games into casting, and Pickle's already literally tilted.
You're right on that. So we've got Snackwatch here. Currently, looks like they're attempting to figure out what they're trying to do.
Now, I think they've definitely figured out what they want to do. They want to get up there on the notorious Hamburger Hill and try to punch out RJF from that position, but RJF is just not letting them do that. It's definitely sending a lot of weapons fire downrange from both teams. It looks like 206 actually might get pushed off that front tier of cover on Hamburger. RJF also has the domination circle again, so it is 206 game right now. They have to be the aggressors. RJF probably perfectly content with just staying where they are.
You're probably correct on that. I'm gonna see if I can perhaps figure out how to fix my camera here.
Now, while the rest of RJF is transitioning towards the center of the domination circle, we have this Annihilator out in the so-called gas station, taking a lot of weapons fire from 206 actually, and is sound a bit like a broken record here. If that Annihilator can't be supported, it could definitely be a game in favor of 206 here.
RJF does have that AC2 champion again over here with his companion, the Annihilator.
Definitely not a mech I would have expected to see multiple times tonight. It doesn't trade very well against all the Gauss rifles and PPCs that we see out of most of this tournament's long-range mechs.
Black Templars and that Hunchback down to 60%. A strike is imminent. Looks like they're going to try and get out of the way, but they are going to take a bit of damage from that strike. RJF doing a very good job with their trades. We see a lot of damaged percentages here on Snackwatch's side. But Snackwatch is trading blows with RJF here. Very even damage numbers on RJF's side.
Not quite as even on 206's side. Some members making some more conservative plays, some making more aggressive plays.
Once again, I do apologize for the crooked camera. I wish there was a way to fix this. It was caused by leaving.
Have you tried snapping to a player's cockpit view and then leaving it?
I don't know how to do that.
Hit tab to open up the list of players, hit P to see your mouse, and then click on a player.
Click on them. Oh, I fixed it. Thank you so much, Oblivion. This is
You're
why
welcome.
I keep him around.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got a small push here from Snackwatch. They've moved on up to the Fox 7 area, taking some trades, being fairly aggressive.
Now that we're in this range, we see the ATMs that 206 brought start to really do their damage. Something that could be really dangerous for RJF's deck of a lot of low tonnage mechs plus an Annihilator.
Now, the only thing RJF doesn't have is their Annihilator in the fight right now.
Yeah, but if you listen very closely, Pickle, you can hear the Jaws music of that Annihilator slowly approaching to effective range.
That is true. Once he gets into his effective range, Snackwatch is going to have a... Well, they're not going to have a very good
As soon as
day.
he's in effective range, Snackwatch is going to need a bigger boat, I think is what you're trying to say.
Slave labor does take out Saiku there in that night gear. Turtles being very aggressive in the Piranha. Almost
206
going...
is definitely clawing and scraping for some ground here. RJF kind of gotten pushed behind this one main cover here, maybe not expecting the ATMs or maybe just not having a good deck to deal with them at the moment.
Turtles out in the open here. Doesn't have a lot of teammates to help here. Black Templars does go down. Turtles down to 53%. Senator gets taken out. by MK. Slave labor does take out Ober. 2 mechs remain on Snackwatch's side. Turtle is there on the Prana and Morticia in the Summoner.
And again, we see how highly coordinated RJF can be with decks that they play a lot. They did a really good job rotating armor, 47%, 41%, 37%. It's a lot of, okay, I'm hurt, I'm moving back. Okay, you're hurt, you move back. They trade off action a lot, and I think that's really important for keeping a team alive. It could be the difference between having all your mechs or having none of them.
Yeah, definitely a lot of good trades from RJF side. Trading armor, trading damage against Snackwatch. I didn't get to see what percentage that champion was down on to, but it looks like he might be missing one of those torsos there. So, definitely good job by RJF there, holding the line. Even when Snackwatch, you could tell Snackwatch wanted to make an aggressive push, but unfortunately they just were not able to get their mechs up there and get a situation where they could make an effective push without being destroyed by RJF. Very, very good job by RJF. RJF, I think, was controlling a lot of that match. Just look at some of the damage numbers here. White Eyes there in that Vapor Eagle, 528. Fairly even damage numbers on 206's side. Another thing I kind of want to point out is, while 206 was at Hamburger Hill trying to figure out what sort of movement they were going to make, I remember seeing their Night Gear actually turn right around and kind of go backwards up to Hamburger Hill, so it looked like there was a lot of confusion going on between the two teams. Between Snackwatch. It looked to me from an outsider perspective that they weren't quite sure if they were supposed to push or if they were supposed to sit up at Hamburger Hill and just trade against RJF, and they very, very slowly made their way over to Fox 7, Fox 8 to try and make a push. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out for them, and RJF was able to capitalize on the indecision by Snackwatch, which ultimately caused their demise. They were already down on the trades, and then as I said, I'm trying to get the map strat up here. Where is Grim Plexus? Domination, there you are. So if we take a look at the map strat here, RJF kind of held out for the most part. Had a line going about, well, kind of about this. They kind of had a line about that. And Snackwatch had a counter line up here by Hamburger Hill, somewhere around there. And at the beginning of the game, we had both teams kind of trade against each other. Snackwatch, I think, unfortunately, were on the losing end of that trading engagement. I think RJF had a few smarter plays, a few smarter trades. And then basically what we saw from Snackwatch's side is we had Snackwatch make a small movement from the Hamburger Hill area to about here, which is where they ultimately ended up stalling. Now, we did have turtles in that Piranha right at the beginning of the game, right below this hill here, right along this ridge, and he was able to hold the circle. Now, Snackwatch did not have the circle at that time. RJF was able to get the Wolfhound inside the circle somewhere around here before Turtle is in that Piranha there was able to get inside the circle. So 206 did have to make a move if they wanted to win that match. It's just unfortunately they were not holding their long range engagement, and it looked like a semi-disorganized push into this area here. On RJF's side, when Snackwatch made this push, what we saw from RJF was basically one of these. Nope, sorry, my bad. Let me do that again. Basically what we saw was... Oh, that's red. Why is that red? That's supposed to be blue. I know how to do a map strat, guys. I do. I promise you I do. So we had RJF's mechs spread along that blue line there. When Snackwatch made their move along the red line, basically from RJF what we saw was that. Basically saw that. Their lights, RJF's lights, kind of did this sort of engagement. I am apparently very bad at drawing arrows. I don't use this map strat too much. I look at it a lot, but I don't actually. Wow, I'm just not gonna.
Get good.
I'm not gonna make arrows anymore. I'm gonna figure out how to use the auto arrow. That's red again. I don't know how to make the arrows squiggly. We'll figure it out.
The pencil tool, Pickle.
Oh. Haha! Why is that so small?
Change the width of the crayon.
There we go. Okay, that's what I want. Blue arrow right there. Is what we saw from RJF. Still definitely a fun match to watch. I was really excited to see what both teams were going to do at the beginning there when we saw an early game trade between both teams. Definitely exciting to see what both teams were going to try and do. So Oblivion, what's next?
Well, first, I'm going to get yelled at Matt because I almost missed the round 2 game 1 match ID.
It's okay, I just sent it to you.
I saw that, thank you. I'm still going to get yelled at by Matt. Good try, though.
It's okay, Matt's a nice guy. He doesn't yell too much.
No, Matt's a bully.
Matt is not a bully.
Matt's a bully. I have a Google Doc proving it.
Have a Google Doc proving it, okay. Another thing I need to do real quick here is actually update the scoreboard because I forgot to do it. So, second drop goes to RJF. Do you remember off by hand if Snackwatch got any kills off RJF in that second drop? I don't believe they did.
I don't remember either, but good news, it doesn't matter for this tournament.
That is true. Kills do not matter. They are just a statistic that I like to have on screen.
That we can extract from the match IDs later.
That is indeed correct. Now, Oblivion, about a week and a half ago, you did have an interview with Incoming Missile Podcast about this tournament taking place. Now, all the information and all the match IDs that you are gathering up, you will be submitting to the lovely people at Incoming Missile Podcast, where they will compile the data and make a podcast from it. Is that correct?
Yes, I will.
Okay. I'll be excited to watch that. Oh, I guess listen to that podcast.
I like statistics.
Being a civil engineer at heart, I imagine you do.
Mechanical, but very close.
Oh, mechanical engineer, my apologies. Alright, so it looks like round 3 will be the last round of tonight. Snackwatch versus WKL. And then DFA versus RJF. So can you tell us about that, Oblivion?
Well, 2 teams are going to go into our lobby, and 2 teams are going to go into Funk and Chrisman's lobby, and then they're going to fight, and 1 team from each of those lobbies will win. How's that?
That was great. That was great. I loved
awesome.
it. I loved
awesome.
it. That's,
awesome. Just like we practiced.
Yep. Quality content right here. That's all I need to know.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm glad we can.
So
glad we can wrap that up.
Let's expand on that. Who are we casting? Are we casting the RJF versus DFA match, or are we doing Snackwatch versus WKL?
We're casting Snackwatch versus WKL.
Okay. So
Snackwatch, not a team that we've really seen competitively, even though they're in our own unit. could be full of surprises. I mean, they definitely took some interesting things in the match that we just casted, and RJF definitely a very, very elite team. Snackwatch might shake it up a little, retune their stuff, and come back with a vengeance to take WKL and get some wins in.
Snackwatch definitely the underdog in this engagement, but if they play the way I think they want to play, I think they do have a very good chance of winning this. They seem to have, from what I'm seeing from an external point of view, they seem to have a goal. They just can't quite get all the dots and all the check marks checked to actually get that goal onto the battlefield and make it happen. But I believe in them, and I hope to see some interesting plays by them in this coming round 3 here. But I think they definitely have a chance against the White Knight Legion. Let me just fix my overlays. Real quick, Oblivion question: do you know which team is going to be Team 1 yet?
Snackwatch will be Team 1.
Snackwatch will be Team 1. Okay. So seeing what we've seen from Snackwatch so far, what are your predictions, Oblivion?
You know, I'm not particularly sure. I think the combination of PPCs and ATMs can be quite deadly, but in a deck like that, I think I would want more ATMs than PPCs. Maybe like 2 PPC mechs, 3 ATM mechs, and a light mech. Whereas they took, I think, 3 PPC mechs. Just because you really want some punch in a deck like that, and PPCs are pretty low DPS, and you want a lot of really punchy mechs in these low pilot drops.
And it does depend on, of course, the map selection. Grim Plexus, as you said, is a map that you're capable of running some very long-range mechs and some very long-range decks. Given the structure that the tournament has, both teams have no idea what map they're going to drop on until about half a second before we hit launch. So both teams really have to kind of decide what they want to... There's a lot of pre-planning that needs to go on during these drops, so that both teams have, I guess, the most optimal mech... the most optimal deck that they can have for any given situation. And both teams really have to just kind of like dynamically... What am I trying to say? I'm bad at words, Oblivion. Both teams have to like adjust their strats almost on the fly as soon as they find out what map they're on. So it would probably be a good idea for the teams to actually come up with specific decks for each map, and then whichever map is picked, that's the map that they're going to play on, and they have a specific deck for that map. And what we're seeing from RJF currently, it seems as if they have done that. It seems as if they know the initial positions they want to go to, they know what their mechs they're bringing and what they want out of their team, and it looked as if no matter what map it was, they had an idea as to where they wanted to go, and that can be very powerful against a team that may or may not have a lot of pre-planning done before the matches take place. So we are just waiting on WKL and Snack Watch here.
Yeah, it looks like we may have a bit of downtime here. I think the other match just finished, so it'll finish 5 minutes from now in the cast, and we're gonna have a little bit of downtime here. Then we're gonna group teams together and get into round 3.
All right, should be fun. I am excited. Once again, guys and gals, MW Leagues 2 is currently casting the other matches. So if you want to take a look at those matches, go to MW Leagues 2. Snack Watch versus WKL will premiere here in just a few minutes.
So what do you think about the games that we've seen so far, Pickle? Anything you didn't think you would see?
Not really. Anything that I think I didn't think I would see? Not really, actually. Typically the way matches start is, you know, we get both teams scouting information for their team, of course. And slowly but surely, the matches kind of transition into from a long-range trade engagement into a shorter, smaller brawl situation. What we're not seeing, what I haven't seen so far, is just a straight up, one team just straight up rushes the other team in a full brawl situation, and I think that would be pretty cool to see. Both teams taking, from what I've seen tonight, every team that we watched seems to be taking kind of mid-tradey decks, and they've just been picking each other off piece by piece from just a little bit further away than a full-on brawl situation. And in a way that's entertaining, because it shows how technical and how much positioning needs to be a key factor in each team's success. I would like to see a good old-fashioned brawl at some point during tonight.
Those are definitely fun to watch.
For sure. They can be quite a bit hectic, but when you've got 12 mechs in there just fighting each other, all hell breaks loose, and it's really fun to watch. But at the same time, these more technical, longer range engagements are, I want to say, just as fun to watch, because each movement from each mech from either team can be a detriment or a success towards one team or another. And it's really interesting to see that. It's really interesting to see, 2 or 3 minutes of either team just not really moving around or anything, and then we see a small movement by team 1, for example, and that causes team 2 to make, another small movement, and it's very interesting, and it's very exciting to watch each team kind of attempt to outplay the other team. And I think that's very interesting.
I agree, Pickle. I think a lot of this tournament has been pretty interesting. Alright, well, looking to get Seneschal and a member of RJF in here to talk to them about the games.
RJF's match is that currently live on MW Leagues 2, or are they just finishing up?
I think they're just finishing up on the stream.
Okay. I see a map strat there, so they're probably just taking 5 minutes or so. Once again, I want to say thank you everybody for tuning into the stream today. Hope you guys are enjoying it. We've got some interesting matches taking place tonight. The drops are going a little bit longer than I would personally be a fan of, but again, this is the more or less the first time we have hosted a fairly large event of this caliber. So of course there's going to be a few small issues to iron out, and we'll definitely get those issues ironed out for the future. Get a little bit of more coordination going on, and with time, things will be running smooth as butter. Smooth as butter. But not yet. These things, they take time. It's getting pretty late here tonight, so thank you all once again, guys and gals, for watching.
Alright, here they are. Let's drag them in.
Alright.
Alright, Seneschal, slave labor.
Hello.
Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
Good.
Good evening.
Good evening. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the matches so far. How have you has it felt different from previous tournaments? Has like the deck construction, strategy building process been different for you guys?
Yeah. So with our group in Sackwatch, we're kind of sometimes cycling in our leadership anyway. So this was an interesting one to jump into because the amount of planning for multiple contingencies is interesting. We kind of finalized our group pretty recently, and then we turned to, okay, let's get our decks solid for this tournament, and it took a lot more time than we thought it would take. It's very interesting. Having the 3 maps and you don't know which one it's going to be makes things very interesting to try to balance out your strategies.
Slave labor, has RJF had to approach this differently because of the rules, or?
Well, the rules are unusual, but you have to prepare multiple universal decks for multiple maps, and I don't think this is easy for new teams.
No, you find it
lower
harder?
Divisions. Yeah, that would be harder for them, and that's the main problem, I think, since top teams are banned. And the tournament, as I understood, is aimed for the new teams.
Yes.
But in general, yeah, that's funny, that's unusual, I'd like it.
Alright.
It strikes me as something that, if it were done several times over time, would kind of stabilize and become more, well, it would become very interesting.
That's true, and I do just want to quickly say that this is the first time that we have hosted such a thing. It is a new tournament, and again, this is the first time we've hosted it. So definitely some some things to iron out for future tournaments later on. So Oblivion, I think it might be a good idea for us to have like a little feedback sort of form or something after all of this. Oh, okay, you're already working on it. Okay, awesome.
It's a good plan.
But so far, you guys are enjoying it?
It's been our first time trying to use all of 228's resources to really do something like this. So we appreciate everyone being decently patient with us and sorting out all the issues. Again, we apologize about the time zone issue. It's a little hard when you realize half your players don't deserve daylight savings time. But anyway, the next question I wanted to ask you guys is about your weapon choices. Some interesting stuff from a lot of RJF's decks seem to be how to just nastily slide an Annihilator into the enemy, and we saw AMS from 206 actually, which is something that's actually like competitively relevant now. Were you guys scared of ATMs? So can you tell me about that?
Not really. ATMs can deal damage only if you do if you're caught in the open, for example. But generally, you just pop at them and they can't do anything.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we just took a mixed deck of some DPS and long range, and that's it.
Yeah, do you the Annihilator, definitely like the most popular assault mech from last year's Worlds, right? Is that how you guys kind of got about to fielding that? Have you just ported some Worlds decks into this tournament, or have you really liked the Annihilator? A lot of people have kind of seen it as not so good of a choice anymore.
I think it's quite popular. It's in meta now, So yeah, that's popular choice for competitive game. It has decent armor and weapon choice. I mean, range of these ballistics.
Sure, sure. Seneschal, your team, we noticed a lot of like PPCs and ATMs from your team. Definitely a good mix of long range and high DPS, but we noticed things like AMS from you guys' mechs. Were you expecting ATMs from other teams as well? That's
Yeah.
definitely not a bad choice actually in this meta.
So in the scrims we were running, we were seeing a lot of teams were bringing one ATM like we did, or more, as kind of that stop. So that was something that was in our mind. One AMS can negate a lot of ATMs. So, and I mean, yes, I agree with you that I feel like the same argument can be made for lerms slightly, where if you're out of position, that's when they really punish you.
Yeah.
Also, it depends on the max. It depends on if you assume that you're gonna have better positioning than your opponent, then you're kind of good. But if they do get the advantage on you, like a Veagle pop charting from a nasty position can do so much friggin' damage so fast.
Yeah.
But it depends.
All right, well, we're gonna have to move on to the next round. Thank you guys so much for both your time. And it was great talking with you. Good luck in the next round.
Sure, thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, let's get this next match underway.
All right. Next match, round 3, Snackwatch versus White Knight Legion. Once again, it's a 6v6 situation. Random map. Nobody knows the map. Until...
No, I don't yet.
Wasn't done talking. I talk like William Shatner, I'm sorry. No one knows the map yet. Until both teams ready up.
Alright, let's get the timer going.
Alright, both teams in the lobby here. Timer has started.
And with the timer started, we can go ahead and roll the map, talk about what might happen.
Alright.
Looks like we got Canyon Network this time. I think we got to see all 3 maps tonight, actually, from the first bucket, which is nice. Good
Canyon
variety.
Network, that's awesome. Let's take a look at that map here. Let's actually go in, since we have a few minutes, let's talk about what we think we might see in terms of the map here. So it is Canyon Network Domination. So I got the map on stream. Tell us your thoughts here, Oblivion. What do you think we might see from mechs and decks and strats and stuff? We've got Snackwatch on Team 1 side, WKL on Team 2 side.
Well, whenever I see domination, and it's not a very wide open map like Grimplex's, my mind instantly goes to how can I brawl the best? And right now I think you can brawl the best with like a mad. It doesn't actually resemble brawl all that much, to be perfectly honest. You can feel the Doc and Mad Cat quite easily in a deck like that. You can get a pair of ATM mechs with a lot of damage, and then the rest of your team looks like brawl. I think a lot of people favor assassins right now, linebackers. The Onion 2CA is kind of a forgotten gem in the long history of good brawl mechs that has yet to be nerfed.
And a lot of the time what we see on maps like Canyon Network, sorry, let me try again. A lot of the time what we see on Canyon Network is more or less a move of what we've got here. Team 1 side making a move up to Epsilon, Team 2 side in a brawl situation. We see both teams kind of crash into each other around, kind of around this area here, give or take a little bit. Sometimes you see closer to the valley there, but a lot of the time in terms of a straight up brawl situation, this big kind of circle area here is where we typically see the teams crash into each other. So give or take, if we see a brawl situation, if we don't see a brawl situation, it's of course going to be fun and exciting to watch, and I'm excited to see what both teams decide they want to do here.
Oh my god, so 206 has just locked with a 330-ton deck.
That's very light compared to WKL's 350. Yes, they're at 350. They're running a duplicate, correct?
Yes.
All right. Should be fun. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we're gonna get here. The match is launching.
I was a little bit of a cheater pumpkin eater here. We're gonna see double night jeers from WKL.
Double nature, okay.
It's like right now it's kind of the budget assault mech in the meta.
The Pop-Tart Night Gear, 4 ear large, sorry, not 4 ear large. I mean, you can run 4 ear large on it. It's hot. Typically, I see them with 2 ear large and 2 Gauss. Definitely
And maybe
effective
some medium
mechs.
lasers. The DACA one actually I think is the most effective one at the moment. Although that big tubby CT can get it into some tight spots.
That is true. Sometimes it does have a problem with that big CT. It kind of has Black Knight syndrome, where it's got the very big CT to it.
So we don't actually have triple duplicates from 206. That might have just been what they determined to be the best brawl deck. This actually looks like an ISC style strategy. I think if we go over here, we're gonna see that 206 is. Oh, I was wrong. They aren't all medium pulse lasers. I thought we were gonna see ISC 2.0 here. Definitely very, very brawly, very highly mobile. I'm not sure that they needed to take double duplicates or if that they needed to run 10 tons under what they could have, but it's definitely not a bad choice for a map like this. The double Stormcrow is very interesting. I would feel
we're seeing a slightly similar deck with WKL here, with Night Gears being actually DACA. Now Snackwatch making a very aggressive push.
WKL's a lot more top heavy, which is going to be really important on a map like this. Actually, we saw it in the exhibition last night, how being more top heavy can give you a very good late game advantage. Getting very brawly very quickly here. 206 getting right in there, using that high mobility to be disruptive and really just cut into their back line as fast as they possibly can. Gitka and the Night Gear backed off after his blood-ass buddy got taken down. Cyclone Jack and Windscape looking to get some high ground in the back. This is getting very, very, very gritty.
Gitka does go down in the Night Gear.
Seneschal goes down in the Stormcrow. We're seeing teams go tit for tat here.
Sios here in the Assassin against all of Snackwatch's mechs. He does get legged, and he is about to go down. Death by Black Templar Raptor. It's not looking good for WKL here. Snackwatch doing a very good job.
Very interesting that they've all stayed relatively evenly healthy, which is very good, especially for a brawl deck. Spreading that damage is more important the more brawlier you are, and it's harder the closer you get to the enemy.
Windscape is able to take out Saiku there, but he unfortunately self-destructs.
It's not completely out of WKL's hands here. It's going to be a very hard match, but that Urban Mech can definitely take some punishment. They don't call them raid bosses for nothing.
Black Templars in that 27B. Oh, Cyclone does go down. It looks like he may have shut down, unfortunately, in that Vapor Eagle. Yondu is the last
Vulcan.
mech remaining. Sorry, Vulcan.
It's a very hot mech, by the way, and it's easy to shut down in if you're not very careful. 206 did get it.
206 did finish them off.
Their ultra lightweight drag racing strategy paid off, and it got right. Those Night Gears just hate to see high mobility, and it's almost like 206 said, what is the highest possible mobility achievable, and just threw it onto a drop deck.
You remember when I said I wanted to see a good old-fashioned brawl? Well, guess what? I got my good old-fashioned brawl. I'm happy to see that. So WKL did take 2 kills off of Snackwatch there, but ultimately Snackwatch does take the lead. So good job on them. Once we hop out of the match here, let's take a look at the map strat. Looking at damage numbers here, Black Templars there on that crab, 349. Ober there in the linebacker doing 424. Turtles in that Vulcan, 416. So fairly even damage numbers. Also, some fairly high damage numbers coming from WKL as well. Windscape in that night gear doing 514. Getka in the other night gear there doing 283. So definitely a fun fight. Let's go to the map strat here and take a look at what we've got. So that match was round 3, match 1 between Snackwatch and WKL. Snackwatch did take that drop off of WKL. 2 more rounds to go. Let's get the map strat up here. So what we saw. What we saw from Snackwatch, very aggressive movement from them coming right out of their spawn zone here on Team 1. Basically, they kind of followed that path, reminiscent of the path that I kind of mentioned there at the beginning. Now, WKL did, it looked like they had a fairly good firing line set up at the beginning of that match, setting a bunch of mechs up around kind of set up around this area here is basically how they had things set up, and then they slowly made their way over this way. And right here is where Snackwatch was actually able to engage them, and they were grouped up, they were pushing hard, and they were ready for the brawl. WKL fought back fairly well, but you can tell that they were definitely not ready to receive all of Snackwatch's mechs, and that actually catching WKL off guard there probably allowed Snackwatch to get a few really good shots on their mechs, causing them to go down. So good job on Snackwatch there. Oblivion, what are your thoughts here on this?
That was definitely an interesting game. It was very fast, very high octane. I unfortunately need to prepare the next round.
Alright, no worries. I can kind of take it over from here. I'm going to clear the map strat here. So yeah, Snackwatch definitely, they have shown through the matches that we've seen so far, excuse me, they've shown through the matches that we've seen so far that they want to brawl. They want to get right up against their enemy's face and just punch them right in the face until they die from it. And we saw that on the Grim Plexus drop, and they were actually able to do that here. We saw that a little bit on that first mining drop, but they didn't really have the capability of doing that, of getting into a brawl situation with the RJF there. Now, of course, the geometry between Canyon, Mining, and Grim Plexus is different, and Snackwatch definitely showing their capabilities in a brawl situation on Canyon here. I think they did a really good job. They grouped up nice and fast, and they knew what they wanted, and they went ahead and did it, and they took that win off of WKL.
All right, both teams. Well, let's double check Rule 6.
All right.
So let's make sure these decks are legal. No duplicates. They're 355 tons are good. 360 tons. No duplicates. Only one hero. All right, we're good. Okay, they go. Rubelite Oasis.
All right, Rubelite Oasis. That's a map we haven't seen yet tonight. Rubelite's a good map. I like it. I like it a lot. I remember being back in Swamp Foxes in Worlds 2018, doing a lot of scrims on Rubelite Oasis, getting ready for the matches, and yeah, so should be fairly interesting. All right, so Rubelite Oasis Round 2. Snackwatch versus WKL. God, fuck.
Is your camera crooked again?
Possibly. Possibly.
Well,
Except
now we know how to fix it.
I am unable to, except now I have the issue where I am unable to leave the chat window because this game loves me.
The chat window.
Yes,
Like all chat?
there we go. I got it. The
Yeah,
game
you
fixed
just have to wait
itself.
for the game to start.
Spectator tool.
Alright, let's see what we got. On the 228 side, we have a Hunchback, Piranha, Vapor Eagle, Summoner, Warhawk, Nightier. Sounds like a very tradey deck to me. We have PPCs on the Warhawk. We've got Gauss PPC on the Nightier. I'm assuming that's a PPC Summoner. I was right. ATM Vapor Eagle. So that triple PPC mech with a little bit of ATMs that we saw from last game. Actually, 4 long range trade mechs and 1 ATM mech. ATMs can be very deadly here on Ruby.
Looked like Morticia attempted to get up on this platform. Unfortunately, she missed. She does have the jump jets capable of doing it, but she wasn't able to get herself up on that platform there.
On the WKL side, we have an equally tradey deck. We have a PPC Warhawk, we have an ER large Virago and an ER large Battlemaster, and then we have a triple PPC Vapor Eagle, a surprisingly common build that can be very, very hot on a map like this, and then a Piranha.
Interesting. So definitely a longer range engagement coming from WKL here. Let's see how Snackwatch performs here on this map. Let's see what they do. I also think WKL has a bit of camouflage cohesion going on here. A lot of their mechs have a similar pattern to them. WKL taking a lot of really good trades. Saiku there, down to 75% in that night gear. Oberon, the ATM Vapor Eagle, hanging out by this rock, waiting for his moment to shine. He knows that if he pokes out, he's not going to have a good day, so he's biding his time, waiting for his mech to poke out. Waiting for the perfect opportunity to make a move. Both teams still trading against each other here. Snackwatch does have 11 seconds on the timer. So
both the Piranhas kind of dancing around the edge of the circle, waiting for an opportunity to strike one another. Can be very difficult when there's a barrage of PPCs waiting for you on the other side of the hill.
That's true.
Scores seem pretty even here. We're starting to see some damage on Snackwatch's Nightier.
Windscape and this Hunchback here, taking a little bit of damage from...
Pretty spread damage on the Nightier, though. Shouldn't be particularly important. So that means that both teams are spreading the damage. They're getting their trades in.
Windscape is actually legged over here in his Hunchback, taking a lot of damage, down to 40%.
Oh yeah, that Hunchback's not having a great day.
He still has both his torsos though, so he's able to fire both PPCs.
It's almost halved, however. Those clan PPCs do have some splash damage. That could be a very, very dangerous thing to forget.
Black Templars, down to 42%, was pushed off of the ledge by Getka here on the Piranha. Black Templars definitely focused a little bit, down to 39% there. Fairly heavily damaged in terms of armor. Saiku down to 51 in the night gear. Cyclone Jack here, 71. Also helping out Getka in his little light mech there. We're getting Snackwatch grouping up just a little bit. Looks like they kind of want to see if they can make some sort of a push. Although it looks like they may just be a little too grouped up compared to where they were before. Getka making a very, very risky play here. Trying to get Morticia out of the fight. And he does it. But can he get out of the way in time? Now he's got Chortles on his back. He's going to have to run away here. Chortles does disengage due to Yondo in that ER large laser Battlemaster.
Definitely a very risky, high
Gitka,
risk, high reward play from Gitka.
yes, for sure. Gitka does get away. He's taking some really good shots on Saiku here in that night gear. WKL does have, it looks like they have a bit of a pincer situation going on. They've got Gitka and Yondu on this far left-hand side, and then they've got Cyclone and that Vapor Eagle, as well as the rest of their ER large mechs, kind of funneling Snackwatch into this little fishbowl, if you will. Well, they're being shot by both sides here. Saiku down to 28%. Windscape does take out Black Templars. And that Hunchback there. Remember near the beginning of that fight, he did get legged. Gitka still doing a lot of really good work over here on this far left-hand side. Does take out Senechal. Ober down to 60%. Yandu's pushed up to help Gitka here.
This fight can end up being a lot closer than what it looks on the score sheet. If you look at all these mechs, just about everything
Yandu does go
damaged.
down. I believe that
Into
was a
the
strike
side.
kill by Chortles. Gitka might be legged. Cyclone does take out Saiku. Mr. Somaru coming in that Warhawk now down low with the 4 PPCs. He's fairly damaged. Cyclone Jack does now go down. Death by Chortles. Gitka and Somaru here being aggressive on Ober. Gitka goes down.
The ball is completely in Chortles' court right now. All of these mechs easily cleaned up by a Piranha. The Piranha is the most dangerous mech you can see in the late game of any tournament. PPCs are pretty much the bane of its existence, but it's still extremely deadly here.
Somaru is able to take out Ober, but now Chortles has to disengage. Somaru's back has to be hurting. Somaru
Ooh, and
goes
Chortles
down,
takes out Mr. Somaru.
but it looks like he may have.
Oh yeah, I think he might have lagged Chortles.
He might have legged Chortles just as he died.
Yes, Chortles is lagged.
So now Windscape here, 32% in that Hunchback. He's gonna play his range. He knows that if Chortles really, he knows that he has to keep his range here. Chortles making a small push.
Chortles is going to have to. He's not in the domination circle.
That's true. There are 11 seconds left on the clock for WKL. Windscape and Ragnar here. They don't have to move if they don't want to. I think Chortles' biggest threat here is this Hellbringer. I'm not so sure if he knows exactly
definitely
where he is.
This Hellbringer has almost no damage on him. Without that leg, I don't know if Chortles can pull this one out. If he had a leg with even 1 point of structure left, I would say that this could actually be a game he could easily recover from.
Now he did. Oh. He was anticipating Ragnar to show up from that side, and he did get the shot off before Ragnar was able to shoot him. Chortles doing a very, very good job. Windscape getting into that fight very, very late. Perhaps he was like, Ragnar, you got this.
Definitely a very strong late game coming out of
Oh, for
Chortles.
sure. Both teams having some very, very decisive plays. Ragnar in that Hellbringer doing 449. Yondu in the Battlemaster there, 550. Mr. Somaru there in that Warhawk doing 560.
I missed the match ID again. Grab it.
I got it. Chortles in
Okay.
that Piranha, 545. Very, very good match for Chortles there in that Piranha.
Definitely. Those Piranhas are beasts in the late game. It's almost beneficial for a team. I mean, like what we saw here, where the Piranhas do nothing but hold the circle in the early game and wait until things are a click away from death for them.
And then they come into the kill. Like, you know, Piranhas do in the real life. Except there's more of them when they do it. But still, very fun match to watch for sure. Definitely very tense. It could have gone either way at any moment. And the win does go to WKL.
That means we'll be going into round 3.
Oh
Drop
boy.
3.
Round 3, drop 3. Let me just update my score sheet here. WKL coming in with the win.
Yes, a win in the second game. It's 1-1 for the teams now.
Yes, 1-1 for both teams. All right. So, let's take a look at the map strat here. Taking a look at Riblade Oasis Domination. I believe it was WKL that got the first couple of seconds on the circle there.
I'm actually not sure.
There we go. We got Riblade Oasis on stream here. 5 minutes on the clock. Mr. Summer says his team is already ready to go. So let's quickly go over the map strat. From Team 1 side, both teams starting starting early game engagements. Both teams having long range mechs. We saw, let me see. So let me actually start with both teams' Piranhas. We had the Piranhas basically hovering from that blue circle. Sorry, blue circle. It's 12 o'clock at night and I'm tired. I'm sorry. My energy levels have definitely gone down a little bit. So, Team 1, their Piranhas making a small little play around there, keeping inside the circle. Team 2's Piranha doing the same thing, and basically what we saw was just both teams making very good trades against each other. WKL having this whole long range section up here to basically do whatever they want with their long range mechs. Snackwatch having a similar setup on their side. They've got a lot of buildings for cover. They've got a lot of opportunities to poke, typically around there. Although we didn't see that, unfortunately. What we saw.
That side is usually like an all or nothing thing. Either you dedicate a large portion of your team into making a movement like this, or you just don't go that way. It seems to be usually how it plays out. I think the key parts of this match, though, we're seeing Gitka make a move like this to try to eliminate an enemy battle mech here, and then a similar play from Chortles over on the other side of the map, using those Piranhas to eliminate the larger, beefier mechs when they trade like that, is a huge game-breaking play.
Now, about halfway into that fight, we did see Snackwatch get into a little bit of a sticky situation where they kind of got pincered in about this blue circle. We had WKL having mechs here, able to shoot down that way, and we had Yondu and Gitka in the Battlemaster and the Piranha up here, able to take shots down that way and that way. So not a good time for Snackwatch there when they were inside that circle. And you're right, Gitka making a very, very risky play to basically, and he did it. He actually got Morticia. Morticia attempted to jump off the ridge and disappear, but he was actually able to take her out. Very, as you said, high risk, high reward play by him. So good job on him for getting her out of the fight there.
All right, we're ready to go into the final match of the evening. It's going to be on our newest map in MechWarrior Online, Hibernal Rift. Oh, and it was... We've made an error, Pickle.
Uh-oh. What have we done?
I switched it back to Domination.
Oh, no. So Drop 3 was supposed to be Conquest. So what are we seeing here? Are we looking at a redrop?
We are looking at a redrop.
Okay. Which means I'm actually not going to switch scenes. We're not going to see the map. We're not going to see the mechs.
And I can't use all chat
Yeah.
until the mechs actually drop, so
So we're going to have to wait here until the mechs drop. Until the mechs power up. And this is going to be a redrop because it is best 2 out of 3. They're saying hello. I don't think they realize we can't talk until the match starts. So can we blow each other up? Nani? Says Sios. I'm sorry, that was a real bad impression. I will never do that again. Mr. Summer there going, referee! I will also never do that again, I'm sorry. Both teams just killing each other. Having at it. Waiting for the mechs to kill each other. Slowly but surely we'll get there. So that means that we might not actually see Hibernal Rift anymore, is that correct, Oblivion?
correct. We will be re-rolling the map,
Okay.
unfortunately.
So we may still see Canyon Network frozen, Hibernal Rift. We may not see Hibernal Rift. It does depend on what our mighty Lord and Savior, RN Jesus, has in store for us.
Let me re-roll the number now for our viewers.
All right.
I got 2.
You got 2. Okay, so what does that mean?
2 is Hibernal Rift again.
Oh boy! All right. Redrop Hibernal Rift Conquest. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm also incredibly tired. I can tell you what I'm gonna do as soon as this ends. I'm gonna go to sleep.
How have we not... Oh, right. He has to actually touch the circle for the game to end. Which is,
So I'm glad
that's-
Morticia hasn't died yet. She's down to 50% there.
I think Morticia's lagged, though, which is probably why we haven't ended yet. There we go,
Gotcha,
okay.
there
Oh,
we
no,
go,
she
okay.
was halved, though.
Which does mean she goes slower. Alright. Hop into that match there. Apologies, ladies and gents. And the rest of the matches will be done, being casted tomorrow, both on Under Leagues 1 and 2. Once again, I want to thank everybody involved in this. You know, the teams for signing up, everybody in the back end, all the casters, all the support staff. The MWO comp community has been very supportive. As I said, this is 228's first official time hosting an official tournament with brackets, rules, all that fun stuff. And it's definitely been a lot of fun to organize the casting of this. It's been quite frustrating to figure it all out for the first time, but you know, I've had a lot of support from the MWO comp community. Krillon has personally spent a lot of his time helping me, helping all of us, and I cannot thank all of you enough out there who took the time out of your nights, and all the casters, all the back-end staff, judges, admins, everybody. Thank you all so much for everything you're doing for this tournament. We could not get it done without you. So thank you all so much for that. Looks like we have one accidental disconnect, so I'm gonna be just a few more minutes here. Get him back in the lobby, and we'll get going. So since this is a redrop, what are the rules for specific redrops, Oblivion?
They get another 5 minutes to change their deck should they wish. And we reroll the map.
All right. And we have re-rolled the map. All right, so since we are re-rolling the map, it could be Old Forest Colony, Hibernal Rift, or Old Frozen City. The current map is in the lobby is Polar Highlands. People are saying, we want Polar. It's not on the map pool list, though. Maybe we'll do a, like a, I don't know, a special little tournament just on Polar. What do you say, Oblivion?
No.
All right, so that idea is out the window. I'll have to convince him later on.
All right, here we go.
All right. So both teams are locked. Hibernal Rift Conquest once again. See, Cyclone says LOL Pickle in there. I don't know why, but he did. How you doing, Cyclone? All right, so drop 3. Here we go. So what do you think for this match here? What are your predictions? Very similar in design to Cannon Networks, where we might see a brawl situation.
Yes, and Brawl actually, I feel like will do a little bit better on Hibernal because those medium pulse mechs will do very well. And there's more places for your non-jump jet mechs to be able to get elevation.
That's true. We do see Windscape here in a Wolfhound. So, Team 2, Flea, Summoner, Madcat, Warhammer, Nightgear, Wolfhound. Team 1, consisting of Madcats, Annihilators, Supernova. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that what I think it is? Over on Snackwatch's side, I believe we see a Sun Spider.
Yes, we do.
I'm very happy to see a Sun Spider.
That's no Supernova.
That is no Supernova. Seneschal there, making me the happiest man in the. God, I love Sun Spiders. I love them so much.
2 Ultra AC-10s and an LPL on that Sun Spider. Definitely going for a high DPS build.
I could sit
and
there
something
all
that
day
should
and
run
watch.
very cool here on Hibernal.
So
We have a Black Widow on the other side too. Looks like we have some unique hero mechs in the heavy slot on both sides.
Getting the Flea, Pie and the Summoner here. Trying to make some small trades on Theta. Looks like they might want Theta here. Oh, they actually already have Theta. My apologies.
206 looks like they're just looking for the right opportunity to strike, whereas WKL looks like they're spreading out. They're trying to get lines. They're trying to take control of a portion of the map.
Black
So you see
Templar is being
Windscape-
fairly aggressive here in that Vulcan. Attacking Mr.
Windscape and
Summoner
Chartle's
there.
trading some damage near Theta. That's those light mechs are very. If either of those light mechs die here, it's Conquest. That completely changes the game. An early game dead light mech is huge in this game mode.
Turtles here in their Prana being fairly aggressive on WKL's Summoner and Flea, but Getka and Pi doing a very good job of keeping Turtles at bay. Turtles is making some very risky plays here. Again, it looks like Snackwatch really wants to just get in there and smack WKL upside the face.
Their deck is definitely more favored in a brawl than WKL's, but you have to remember, like we said about that Annihilator, like it's something that your whole deck is now dedicated to supporting that Annihilator.
Turtles does take out Windscape there on that Wolfhound.
And like I said, an
Gitka's
early
coming
game
right
pick from a
in.
light mech really changed the game. 206 now has the option to play a little more
Turtles.
withdrawn in the late game.
Turtles just took out Gitka.
Clean it up with that Piranha.
Both of WKL's lights are out of the fight.
That's huge in Conquest. Huge.
Now
Turtles
WKL
definitely do a very good job of controlling the late game.
WKL does still have the cap lead, but they no longer have their lights. They also no longer have Sios in that Warhammer there.
I spy something interesting on this Annihilator. We're a half AC2, half rotary to Annihilator over here. I thought I was firing just a little too fast.
Senechal in that Sun Spider there with those dual Ultra AC-10s. Looks like he's attempting to trade with...
It's the only thing you're going to talk about now, isn't it?
You know, he is he's taking some damage there. Makes me sad. I don't want to see Sun Spiders get hurt. By 14k does go down.
Again, to Chortles, that Piranha really cleans up when you can really focus damage in on an enemy mech.
Chortles here, getting in the back of Yondu, waiting for the
One at a
proper time
time.
to strike, and takes him out.
206
Chortles.
lines him up, and Chortles knocks him down. This was
Exactly.
definitely taking out the enemy's light mechs really meant that the rest of the game, he was going to be a massive threat. Losing your lights early game in Conquest is way bigger than any other game mode. Definitely very well played by 206 here. They waited for the best time to strike and then closed in and really timed their execution from all their different types of mechs very well.
Yeah, very good match from Snackwatch. So let's take a look at some of the damage numbers here. Saiku and that Madcat Bravo doing 498. Ober and the Annihilator there, as you said, that Anchor doing 662. Some very heavy damage numbers coming from Snackwatch's side here. And then you see WKL there, the Nike Yondu doing 611. Missile Summer and that Madcat B doing 501. But unfortunately, Turtles said, you know what, Windscape and Getka, I'm gonna end these men's whole careers. And from what I saw, he basically took them out single-handedly. I'm not too sure if either of them had some damage from previous engagements on that map, but Turtles definitely the MVP on that round.
Definitely, I agree.
So drop three goes to Snackwatch. I unfortunately didn't remember to keep an eye on what I saw for Mech's dead, so the Mech's dead is going to be incorrect. But
That's okay.
We've got the final standings here. So tonight, Snackwatch brings home a victory. What does that mean for WKL, Oblivion?
Well, looking at the let's take it. They did get a bye in round 1, so I think it's still a possibility for them to stay into the finals. It's any man's game. There's still 2 rounds to play tomorrow. Make sure to tune in and check those out. And
those matches will be casted on the same channels as they are being casted tonight at the same time, 9 p.m. EST. Be there or be square or not there.
now there's no one else in the lobby. Get out of here, Pickle.
Oh, you kicked me from the lobby. That's mean. Why would you do
Get
such a
wrecked.
thing?
Because I hate you.
Oh, all right. So let's
No,
talk.
JK,
Let's
you're
talk.
great.
Let's talk about that map strat here. Let's talk about that map strat. We saw Hibernal Rift Conquest.
So we saw 206 come through. They spread out a decent bit through here, and we saw Chortles go up. They picked Theta. He came back this way and realized there was some possible cookies over that way, and they 206 fanned out very well. They waited for a good time to strike, and then they just kind of began to spread this way. Whereas from WKL, we had a very spread out strategy at the beginning. They had mechs here, they had mechs here, they had mechs here. They kind of just tried to cut off this portion of the map, which if their light mechs can establish Theta, they don't have to. If they don't have to worry about Theta anymore, controlling that portion of the mech can really basically win the game on Conquest. That gives you three caps here, and you don't have to worry about anything else really the rest of the game. But 206 was having none of that cap strat stuff.
No,
they just
weren't.
got right in there and made things very rough. They tried to set up like a kill box through here, actually, it seemed, which is usually where somehow brawls erupt, even though that's a pretty avoided area of the map in the early game like this. That most of that is that flat plateau that can be a bit of a kill box.
And we did see Senechal there in that Sun Spider, which you mentioned I can't get enough of. He was sitting around this circle here, getting some nice trades downrange on WKL's mechs. Oh, I'm completely ruining your map strat, I'm sorry. But he was getting some nice good shots downrange. We did see WKL's Madcat Bravo being pushed by Snackwatch's light mech down in this corner, that little blue circle there. And again, Chortle's doing a very, very good job on WKL's lights, taking them both out of the fight very, very soon into the match, which WKL did have the cap lead at the time, but as you said, mid-match there, losing your lights that early in a competitive Conquest match can be very detrimental to your team's success. And as I've mentioned in the past, we saw Snackwatch wanting to get into those brawl situations. They just want to get in there and fight. And it seems as if that's what they're most confident in, and that's what they do a really good job of. And we definitely saw that on this match here tonight. They knew what they were going to do, they knew what they wanted to do, and they did everything that they needed to do correctly. And again, Chortle's there getting some really, really good back shots there. As you said, they Snackwatch lines them up, and Chortles knocks them down. So definitely some very good plays by Snackwatch on that last match there.
Yeah, definitely very well executed.
So that is going to be it for the matches tonight. Oblivion, are we going to be having interviews tonight?
We've already done our nightly interview. I think it's getting late, and the teams would just like to get some rest.
All right, I totally understand that. As soon as this is over, I'm going to bed myself. It's fairly late. So one final thing that I think we should talk about is tomorrow. Of course, the matches will continue tomorrow. Let's talk about them. I've put the standings up on screen. Let's talk about what's going to happen for tomorrow.
So 9 p.m., just like today, we are going to see 2 more games tomorrow, and then we'll announce our final matches, which will happen next week, also on Friday and Saturday. So we have WKL versus DFA, definitely going to be an interesting match to watch as well. SA versus Snackwatch, 2 teams that I actually don't think we've seen paired together before. That could definitely be a very interesting fight. Looking forward to that for sure as well. Then we have round 5. We have DFA versus Smoke Adders and RJF versus WKL. After that, we'll move into the finals the next weekend, which will be double elimination, and we'll get to hand out some prizes.
All right, should be a fun time. Hope to see everybody here. I'm excited to see the rest of the matches. So, with that being said, Oblivion, do you have any final remarks you want to say before we wrap things up here for tonight?
Nope. I think that we've summed it up pretty well.
All right.
I think the Sun Spider was definitely interesting. I know you definitely found it very interesting. I think we saw a lot of interesting mechs tonight. 4 PPC, Marauders, Marauder 2Cs, right? An entire deck with AMS to counter ATMs on a map where ATMs are quite good.
Yep.
It's definitely a different game than what we've seen in a couple of recent other competitions.
For sure. And with such a unique rule set, we're seeing a lot of very interesting plays, and I really like that. I really do. I like how it requires a lot of pre-planning and a lot of thinking on teams, a lot of very, quick. What am I trying to say? Like a lot of on your feet, on your quick on your toes. What am I trying to say, Oblivion? Please help me. I know the saying I'm trying to say.
Pickle.
I don't know it. I don't got it.
On the tip of your tongue.
Moving on. Yeah, I really enjoy this this pairing here, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we see for tomorrow. So if there's nothing else, I'll wrap things up and we'll call it a night here for tonight.
All right. Hope everyone has a good night. I hope you enjoyed the games. Make sure to come out tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. GG's. All right, Oblivion, I'm just going to meet up here real quick. I do want to reconvene with you once the stream is over. I want to talk about a few things, and we'll go from there. So I'm just going to meet up, say goodbye to the stream, and I'll be back. All right, guys and gals, that's it for us. It is now 12:18 at night, and I'm super tired. I'm going to go to bed. But yeah, as I said, the matches were awesome, fun to watch. There's a lot of high intense action, and I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to make sure I get lots of sleep for that. And once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, watching the streams. Thank you for Defunct and Chrisman for taking the time out of your day to cast the other matches taking place tonight on MWR Leagues 2. Oblivion, shout out to you, man. You've done a amazing job organizing, being the head judge of this event, and also being my awesome co-caster. So thank you, Oblivion SK, for that. And of course, thank you everybody in the MechWarrior MWO Comp Discord and the MechWarrior competitive community for helping us organize this event and get things started. And it's shaping up to be a very fun and interesting event. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and you have yourselves a great night. We'll see you later.